Guys, what is going on? Sorry, guys, for the delay. Sorry about that, guys. Had some technical difficulties, right? So, guys, here we are on a Sunday. Now, guys, I want to drop the link right now. Let's drop the link early, guys. For anyone who wants to come on up, okay? Because, guys, we're gonna try and have a big discussion today on this, okay? Because this seems to be something that's going around a lot these days, okay? You know, these conservative chicks that are actually feminists. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so guys, this has been a thing for a while, right? I would say since about the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s. Because guys, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, right? Women were actually more conservative than men. You know what I'm saying? You had these, think of the children. Who will think of the children? You know what I'm saying? Right, Colin? You know?
Yeah.
Pearl clutching, conservative chicks, right? Men versus women, conservatism, over the years. I think there was a chart that I saw. Let's see. I think this is it. Let me see, guys. Let's see if I can find this. I think this goes back to 1990. Let me share my screen. But yeah, guys, but back in the 60s and the 70s, women were a lot more conservative than men. A lot more, right? Let me see if I can find a chart. Growing political divide. Hold on.
Well, I wouldn't say the 70s, maybe more like 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would say 50s, 60s, but here's the thing. Up until recently, feminism has always been a small group of chicks trying to talk. I mean, trying to speak for all women, but then being the loudest and actually getting stuff done. And then women are all cheap and want to go along with the trends, right?
Yeah.
Even now, there's still a lot of women that don't claim to be feminists, but then they friggin' spout all the talking points and do all the same stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going to school and getting into all the student loan debt, right?
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
And then they spend their 20s letting Chad, Tyrone, and then their 30s letting Nug and Gerardo and Nug 11 shoot up the club. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Yeah. You know? So I would say that feminism has become such a it's just so ingrained in our society now that I would say that the majority of women who aren't either like hardcore, like first generation people, women, or hardcore religious, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some religious chicks where they live out in like rural Utah and stuff where they like just aren't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they're in the third world, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. Let me see. I wonder if there was a thing where I could see 1950s. Let's see if I can find this chart. Let's see. There was one article that I found. But yeah, so Colin, what would be your definition of a conservative?
Family values, minimal government, Well, you know, I don't want to say pew pew rights, but the right to self-defense.
Yep.
And just you know, freedom to travel and spend money as you see fit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that mostly sums it up.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Michael, what's up, dude? Yeah. Tomi Lahren, she's the worst. Because guys, Tomi Lahren, she should have really cast in when she was really young and like kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because Tomi Lahren's not a bad looking woman, but I said what happened was she crashed into the wall, right? Married some simp and still is trying to feel relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like she can't even say that her husband's like a businessman. He's a coach of some team somewhere, but he's not like King Dingaling. You know what I'm saying? Full Sender, what's up, man? Dante's here. What's going on? Full Sender says Steph, and not even really closet feminist. Yeah, facts. Yep. He says, Mark, what's up, man? David, what's going on? Let me see. John Carlo, what's up, man? Rod is here. Scott's here. What's up, man? Steve is here. What's up, Steve? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, right?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Anthony Williams, what's up, man? Leroy, what's up, man? He says, the conservative woman wants to conserve her ability to control your conditioning via contradictions, while the liberal woman wants to liberate you liberty via lies. Facts, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Steve says his 90-year-old mom is a feminist. Yikes, man. Yikes. Yeah. Jarvik, he says, I've been saying this a lot since I went full red pill. There's no such thing as a conservative woman. Guys, the only conservative chicks now really are some of the girls that come from third world countries, right? I mean, like some of them, right? And then like your great grandma, you know what I'm saying? Like these are the women who lived through the Great Depression, through World War I, World War II, you know what I'm saying? Where they still had, you know, practical problems that made them understand that feminism is foolishness. The only women that are actually conservatives are ones that have been through like war, that have been through famines, you know what I'm saying? That have been exposed to these natural conditions that make them understand what gender roles are and what women are and what men are. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Who am I missing? David Hall. What's up, dude? Let's see. Roblox, what's up, man? How you been? Long time. Good to see you, man. Now, guys, you know what? Here. Actually, I'll pull this up. I have the Megyn Kelly thing over here. So, guys, you know what? I have to do something first, guys. I have to show you guys something first. Let me see where it was. One second, guys. Actually, I should have had this prepped, but I forgot. Here we go. Guys, Apple Chat had a rally today, right? So let's check this out, okay? Where are we? That never gets old. It never gets old. Guys, Apple Chat had a rally today. Okay, let's go.
Vancouver Island, I have a question. Who's voting for change?
What brings you guys out here today?
Here.
Going.
Look at that, guys.
Going.
Look at that.
Hello. What brings you out to the Pierre Poilievre rally today?
So many things.
affordability, homelessness, crime, immigration.
There you go.
Yes,
There you go.
those are really important issues.
Guys, I want you to put 3 ones in the chat if you support Apple Chat here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Yeah, I have 4 kids. I want them to have something. I mean, they work hard, really hard, and they still struggle.
Where has all the money gone?
There you go.
Nobody is
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where all the Canadian taxpayers' monies have gone. In Knucklehead Trudeau's pockets. That's where. Come on, man.
accounting for the money that's been spent.
10 years,
10
billions
years.
and billions and billions of dollars.
Billions of
gone and we
dollars.
don't know where.
Right.
Katrina Panova, aka Cat Canada.
Feels like a failure. He works 3 jobs and never sees his kids. They ask him, Dad, why are you never around? And why can't we ever move into a house out of this small apartment? You know something?
Guys, Pierre is Apple Chad, okay? Because remember the interview when he was eating the apple and owning the friggin' woke?
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
certainly
Give me an
you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left
But
or right.
anyways,
I don't really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
Like who?
He's such a Chad, dude. He's such a gangster, dude. Let's go.
I don't know who, but
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
you must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of
This whole interview,
This explains why.
he completely destroys this idiot, dude. And he's just eating an apple, guys. And just look at the disdain he has for this interview. It's hilarious.
So many Canadians are supporting this guy.
He's eating an apple and he's talking to this reporter, and the reporter keeps asking him really stupid questions.
a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump's book, but
What are you
Also-
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a
Okay.
page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question
Okay,
is.
then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense.
Common sense.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's very interesting because it just shows you the level of the level of sophistication these.
Let's go, dude. I mean, come on. I call him Apple Chad. You know what I'm saying? Because come on, dude, right? And then the leader of El Salvador is Banana Chad. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm here for.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
Please, have you already covered?
Well, I've lost count. Like over 10, 12, 15, I don't know. A lot.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get out here and cover these rallies. It's the most important election of our lifetime. So I wanted to be.
Robin's Fly, what's up, man? TJ, how's it going? Emoji Mister, what's up, man? Let me see. TJ, what's up, man? How's it going?
Be here. This is the culmination of all of our work over the last couple of years, and we're at the final countdown now.
The future of our kids. The future of our children, their well-being, them having a good life. That's what I'm here for.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
And you're voting?
Absolutely.
And who are you voting for?
Favorite probably ever. I already voted for him, actually.
Oh, you already did.
Already did.
What was your biggest voting issue in this election?
For me, it was the affordability crisis.
Affordability.
Yep. Buying a home, affording food, and the such.
Want it to happen? I hate that thought. but I get it. My sister's in Saskatchewan, and she's now in Anchorage flying. We've got one's a helicopter pilot, one's a nurse. They still all just struggle. They just struggle.
A helicopter pilot and a nurse, those are really good jobs. And you're saying they're still struggling?
Still struggling. They still.
What part of Canada are they in?
Guys, Canada's cooked, but this is a step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Ken, man, thanks for becoming a member, my friend. Appreciate that. Thanks so much for the support. But yeah, guys, so we will see how this election goes. Mobile, what's up, man?
Yo, good.
How you been, buddy? How's everything?
Yeah, good. Been busy. But I was at the rally when he came through my city.
Nice, man. How are things looking?
It was really cool. It was you know what, it was a lot cooler than I thought it would be. Like it was cooler. Like it was in an air. He was doing a whistle stop. He was on his way through to BC, and it was a huge turnout here. And it was cool. Like his plane backed up. Like it was kind of like, it's pretty cool. Like he it was in a hangar and it was full, and his plane comes up and
cool.
He comes off.
Do you want to explain maybe since there's like 80 people in here, and guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. We have 35 likes, guys. Come on now, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that, guys. Can you give like a brief synopsis of what's going on in Canada, like how it's like, not I mean as briefly as you can, but what's going on up there, because we know you guys are cooked, right?
Yeah.
But how cooked are you?
Well, it's been
oh, Mobile, you cut out, buddy. Hello, Colin, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Mobile, your microphone cut out, man. Yeah, you might need to come out and come back in or fix your microphone. But yeah, guys, Canada's cooked, man. And guys, Colin, haven't they for our entire lives? Canadian, Canada's healthcare system so much better than America's because it's socialized medicine. Duh. Their healthcare system is cooked. The average wait time to see a doctor in Canada is 9 weeks, guys, and that's in Ottawa and wherever. But you go to like Saskatchewan and Newfoundland, you're talking a year and a half just to see a doctor. You said it's that Canadian, is that crappy Canadian internet? Oh, Anthony, now I would say the only place more cooked than in Canada is the UK and the EU. You know what I'm saying? You know? Guys, I wonder, hey, Colin, do you think that they're immigrating sand as fast as they're immigrating immigrants to the Mobile, you there, buddy?
My machine just crashed out. My whole machine just crashed. So what's been happening? We've had 10 years of liberal liberal chaos, right? Like they are 3 months into when Trudeau comes from a long line of quote unquote aristocrats, Laurentian liberals who believe that he is the sort of the ruling royalty of Canada. His dad was the same way. So his dad was a real tax and spend elite. Justin Trudeau was the same. So we've had 10 years of full woke, full spend. 3 months into him taking office, he says they aren't operating on a budget. He said this. So they went wild.
What?
They said 3 months into his first term, he said we're not operating on a budget. And so they spent billions of dollars. They went crazy during COVID. They printed and spent wildly during COVID.
And I wonder where all that money went.
Well,
could it be his buddies who own companies who got these contracts? Right?
Yeah, it did. Like it went to his cronies. And I actually Global Affairs. I pulled before Global Affairs pulled the data, so you can't get it publicly. Hold
on. Diesel says, "I know preppers are having a good time in Canada." Be a lot of guys chuckling themselves saying, and
yes.
Like guys, Leno says after they shut out the bank accounts during the trucker boycott, I'm sure they were fed up. Facts, absolute facts, man. Facts.
Yeah. He's been a
matter of fact, guys, where did that money go? Right,
and
it just disappeared. You know,
and Carney, who's running for the Liberals, so Trudeau stepped aside like his dad did. So his dad was crashing in the polls. This is going back years. His dad was crashing in the polls. He stepped out, quit before before it was the failure was hung on him. They installed another John Turner, who promptly was booted out the next election a few months later. So Justin's done the same thing. He's ducked out. He's weaseled out. They put Carney in place, and Carney's actually worse than Justin Trudeau in many ways. He's more of a WEF believer. And Carney, to the trucker boycott, Carney was the one who suggested freezing bank accounts. Like Carney is a full World Economic Forum. He's said this. He's bragged about his deep connections to the WEF. Like he's a full believer. So he's a full believer in authoritarian control in this kind of like, he's a full believer. So Canada's like, I don't know, like there's a lot of, so I think that, I've been watching lots of streams, and I think that the election, the polls here saying that the Liberals, they say the Liberals are going to win, but the polls, the media here is bought and paid for.
Hey, Mobile, they said that about here too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's the thing.
Hey, guys, here, you know what? Everyone in the chat, stop and take a second, right? And I want you to describe how the media was describing our election right before it happened, right? You could call him, right? You remember they were acting like Knucklehead Harris was going to win by a landslide.
Oh yeah.
They made it seem like, why is Orange Man even there? Why is he even there? He's gonna get embarrassed. Right? Dude, they made it seem like it was. I mean, look, I knew she was gonna lose. But guys, even I had I think all of us, and even streamers, you're like Andrew Wilson and all them were like, kind of on edge for about the first 2 hours, and then right when Ohio went, something. I knew it was over. Right, call him because Ohio takes a while to get called. Ohio went like so fast, and then we knew it was over. Captain Palsy, what's up, man? Rock and Diesel, what's up, man? Red Door's here, Vintage is here, Brian Tucker's here, Leno's here. What's going on, everybody? Right? So now, Mobile, since you're from Canada, right? Right?
Alberta.
Let me see. Let me do the.
Yeah. Well, let's hope.
All right. So let's get back to these conservatives, because Colin, Mobile, everyone in the chat. Do you believe right now conservative chicks are all feminists? All
hell yeah, absolutely.
IFBB Pro Marte, your camera's on. So if you want to turn your camera off, I'll bring you up. It was an IFBB Pro. So whoever's in the waiting room right now, turn your camera off, and I'll let you up. So yeah, Colin, you said yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think I think women raised today, they can't really not be.
I think what it's like, because you guys know how they say like frogs are in water and it gets hotter and they don't know it, they don't notice. Feminism is like a temperature being turned up, and they don't even know the difference between like a real traditional woman and a conservative chick, or you can tell who's not a feminist by the girls that the feminists turn on. So for instance, my two friends, they have PhDs, they make money. Their wives have PhDs, right? Hold on. Mm-hmm. But these are two of my friends. They're married to their wives, and each family has 3 kids. Both of my friends with their wives did the math and said, look, you're better off staying home so we don't spend all your money on daycare. And then once the kids get older and go to school, you can go back to work. Mm-hmm. And they saved more money and were better off on one income. Both of them moved out of DC and then moved farther to a cheap area because he was the only one commuting. You know what I'm saying? IFBB Pro Marte. If you could turn your camera off, I'll bring you up. Because your mic. Oh, there camera off. There you are. Okay. I'll bring you up. Okay. So, because whoever just joined, you have background noise. So if you can, turn off the you can turn off the YouTube, or if you can get headphones or something, because I can hear myself. So now, so both of my friends, 2 of them had this happen, right? Their wives stayed home, which meant that they could move to a cheaper area. The husband's the only one driving in, so they saved money, and everything was just fine. But guess who was the one that was criticizing their situation the most? Guess.
Were their friends.
The wives' female friends. Exactly. They said, how dare you? Right?
Yeah.
Clown world. These women, they say that feminism is all about choice until the women make the wrong choice. Make the choice that they wouldn't make. And then all of a sudden, please. Let me see. Colin, man, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Thanks so much, my friend. Appreciate that. Ken says, telling conservative women you have boundaries. Who wants a blue-haired feminist come out? Facts, yep. And guys, in the comments, I want you guys to tell me, right? Like, what experiences have you had with these conservative feminists? Because I find that what happens is that you have a bunch of guys, okay, and Colin, Mobile, everyone on the panel, cook with me here. A lot of these conservative chicks, they hang out in a lot of spaces where they're the only chick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they'll be at like sports events, card games, car shows, all these things, and they do it more to like fit in. Yeah, man, modern women, But then what happens is that guys they act like they want to be talked to like men, but their feelings always get involved. You know what I'm saying? So all of us will just be cooking, and then what happens? Someone says the wrong thing or something that they don't like, and all of a sudden it's, how dare you? What do they say? Not all women, you can't say this about women. You can't objectify. A real man wouldn't. And then all the shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right comes out. Now, I honestly believe that there are, like I said, there are some conservative chicks. There really, really are. But a lot of them have to come from very, very rural areas. They have to be very, very, very religious. Very, very religious, right? Or from the third world, which probably means that they're very religious and have come from like war-torn areas and famines and all that. Because I have friends of mine that I work with that are from, like my friend Maya. She's from Sarajevo, and she grew up in the Bosnian Civil War. You know what I'm saying? Seeing bullets fly and people getting blown to bits. You know what I'm saying? So she's not on this modern woman foolishness, because her dad and her uncles were all out there trying to fight the rebels or whoever. You know what I'm saying? And the women weren't. So all these girls go, we should be in combat. She's like, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Walk. What's up, man?
What's up? So the true litmus test to tell whether.
Well, can we start with A? Do you agree that conservative chicks are feminists, and B, describe what to you a conservative is?
No, conservative women are just grifters. They're just doing it just to get money. They're just grifters. A true conservative woman, like you never see her online. You know why? Because she's too busy taking care of her family and her husband. She doesn't have time to come online.
Yeah.
You know. One of the true litmus tests is ask them. We'll point out, number one, how irresponsible women are and how they don't want accountability, and then point out how they've been irresponsible with their voting rights. So then ask them, would they be willing to repeal the 19th Amendment and give up having the same privileges in society that men have because they're irresponsible and they don't want the same accountability as men. For instance, their driving rights. They be forced to give up all their driver's license because the minute a cop pulls them over for speeding, the first thing they do is start crying to try to get out of the ticket. So ask them would they would be able to give up having the same rights as men. And if they say no, that's they're full of it.
I think that if they don't accept the fact that their mindset is of wanting special privileges.
That's all it is.
They're so warped that they think that equality for them, that their version of equality involves having privileges that us men don't have. They're playing friggin' Galaga, right? And we're playing Halo on Legendary, and they have the nerve to act like they have it harder than us. It's crazy.
You know what the funny thing about most conservative women is? Most of them are unmarried.
Yeah, facts. Yep. Here you go.
So, when I say duty you would have to exist, or you'd have to admit is also real then as a concept.
What do you mean by duty?
Obligations that you have absent entitlements. And I would classify rights as being entitlements you have absent obligations.
So you said a duty is an obligation absent an entitlement?
Yeah.
And then you said that, what was the second?
That for a right, it would be an entitlement absent a duty.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't actually see any duties women have in modernity. None. Like no actual duties.
Duties to what?
Anything.
You don't, like in a moral sense or?
No, in any sense. So
that's how retarded they are, guys. She's so dumb. She doesn't understand. Guys, men have duties. We have duty to protect this country. That's why we have to sign up for the draft. Right? We have a duty to protect our property, our family, our families, if we choose to have one, right? Guys, we have duties to maintain and build society, right? Guys, what duties do women have?
It's just ingrained in us just to not want to see society crumble and just automatically keep it going. Like, we just want to do it,
Yeah. And hold on. Let me see. Okay, so guys, this is when this whole conservative thing first blew up, right? It was I think it was in 2020 when Tomi Lahren first hit the wall. Because remember, from when Orange Men got elected, Tomi Lahren was a superstar, right? But then what happened, right? Tomi Lahren hit like 28, 29, and then right into the wall. And then her entire tone changed, right? Apocalypse. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you as usual, man.
So, hey, AJ.
Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Keep going.
No, I was AJ. I was just gonna say, I gotta correct you a little bit about the Tomi Lahren. So what really happened with her was when she was still with the Blaze and Glenn Beck, And
Yeah.
then she went to do like a interview / debate with somebody on the I think it might have been like Fox or something. And she started talking about her the way she feels about abortion.
Baby deletion.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. So she started talking about how, baby deletion, and, the way she felt about it as a quote unquote conservative woman. Glenn Beck basically said, F this, and gave her the boot.
Really? Let me try it once. She said she was on the Glenn.
Yep, that's what happened. That's another thing that makes us show their true colors. Start talking about the ABs. You start talking about the ABs, and they will actually, a lot of them will side with the liberal chick.
Ooh. Who's this guy? Jesse. I don't know who this guy is, but
employer, The Blaze, and some of you out there presume that it was at the direction of Glenn Beck himself. For those of you out there who don't know what's going on, the other day, Tommy was on The View with Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Jedediah Bila, and a couple of other ladies that I don't know.
Ladies? Ladies?
The lie detector determined that
was. Guys, I can't think of a worse show on television than The View. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of anything that'll rot your brain worse than The View, And that just shows how vapid that these women are because they watch that crap.
Surprising to just about everyone.
Guys, I did drop a link for anyone else who wants come on up, man. So hit the link. Let me see. Clayton, what's up, dude? DTM, what's going on? Let me see. Conrad, what's up, man?
Everybody, Tommy claimed to be pro-choice.
Oh, look at that. I didn't see this. Look at that. And she's a conservative, huh? And she's a conservative?
And I say it again, you've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
But let me ask you this. You call
This broad is a demon, isn't she? This Sunny Hostin chick, she's just a demon.
yourself a conservative,
Sorry, guys. I keep pausing this.
a conservative Republican and a constitutional conservative. But you also consider yourself pro-choice, which is
Look at that,
interesting.
guys. Look at that! Look at that! Absolute clown world. Henry says Tommy comes out of nowhere. No work in the trenches. Never. He thought pieces, proposed policies, never helped anyone. Well, okay. She rode that whole post Sarah Palin. I'm decent looking, but have a kind of a loud mouth type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, because she doesn't fit the quote unquote image of what a conservative chick. They think they're all old or whatever, but she's supposed to be this young firebrand is the term, right?
Interesting to me because 68% of conservative Republicans think that abortion should be illegal across the board.
Anyone? Somebody say something. What's going on? What is going on? This is prime.
Well, the funny thing is that The View got sued for $800 million recently because of a defamation suit. And this suit was an attack towards a woman. So The View is definitely doing bad because they're losing $800 million. And on top of that, it's all antithetical to womanhood if you're deleting future women from the future. Two different things. But still, The View is a horrid show, and they're definitely losing this financial suit. And I don't see them on the air very often. And also not in the future as well, too. I don't see a good, bright future for them as well.
Yep, facts. Couldn't have put it better myself, my friend. Yeah. These old birds, man. Hey, who is paying? How?
No, I'm pro-choice, and here's why. I am a constitutional, someone that
loves the Constitution. I am someone that's for limited government, and so I
What's she gonna say? But
can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say I'm for limited government, but I think that the government should decide what women do.
there you go, guys. Everything before but is bullshit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
isn't it funny how women are actually pretty still split down the middle about the pro-choice, pro-life thing? You know what I'm saying? I think it's like right now, it's like 54% are pro-choice, but up until about 2019, the majority of women in the United States were actually pro-life. Matter of fact, here, hold on. Let's do the Gallup poll. All right, Gallup poll, pro-life. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see here, guys. Where's the women? This is by the month. But recently, it was 2024. It was recently where it was like 51% were actually pro-life. So in May 2009, look at this. 51% of women were actually pro-life. And you can see 50, 44, 47, 46, 49, 46, 55. So in 2022, it went down a bit. But it's still 54% to 41%. So it's not like it's some 80, 90% of women are all one way, you know? And guys, if you actually go to a Planned Parenthood, right? The majority of the people who you will see with signs that are picketing Planned Parenthood are women. Of course, because they don't have jobs and men do. They're not working, you know what I'm saying? But in my hometown, oftentimes you would see women out there. Look at that, man. Look at that.
I think it's just obviously it's for political expediency, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people just say what they just say what sort of will help them have a good, bid on the View.
Yeah.
Or whatever their exposure is.
Yeah, but
be controversial.
She got cooked. Yeah, she messed up because she was on the Blaze, and now I don't even know what she does now. You know what I'm saying? Like, she hasn't been able to be like Candace Owens, where Candace Owens made her own media and blew up, and she didn't need the Daily Wire, whatever. You know, her channel gets more views than all the Daily Wire's channels and everything put together. So.
With our bodies, I can sit here and say that as a Republican, and I can say, you know what, I'm for limited government, so stay out of my guns, and you can stay out of my body as well. So
guys, come on.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
What an absolute dunderhead, guys, right? And she stepped in it. She stepped in it, dude. Because I don't even know what she's doing now. Here we go.
Inflammatory language to describe pro-choice people and the actual procedure of abortion.
the pro-choicers are supposed to be about rare and safe abortions. That's how they avoid sounding like straight up baby killers, by acknowledging abortion is not a
See? So you mean she's talking out of both sides of her neck? You don't say.
Just like a woman.
There you go, guys. There you go. Right?
Well, this is one of the biggest problems is she's conditional conservative. Yes. And what I mean by that is that, and when we talk about these women in these spaces, I mean, i.e. social media, the other guy was right. They're not on social media. And the reason why I say conditional conservative is because you'll rail for women's rights and rail for all this other stuff, but you're deleting future women, right? And which is antithetical to this whole position. And then not to mention that, but you only see, like you said, AJ, not only are they picketing outside of Planned Parenthood, but they're also challenging people to go ahead and change their children's gender. They're going ahead and fighting for women and men and women's sports, all this other stuff. I don't see men fighting to go ahead and change their child's gender. It doesn't happen. So when you see men staunchly conservative, they stick to one position and it's consistent. Whereas Tomi Lahren, it's conditional, meaning that she's going to be a Trojan horse, invade the space, and go ahead and be conservative until somebody calls her out on their bullshit. And that's what I mean by that.
W. Business said Tomi Lahren had plastic surgery and she's a fraud. Spoiler alert. But guys, so here's the funny thing too is this. You would think that they wouldn't even be talking about the baby deletion issue, because if they were conservative, they wouldn't be advocating for women to be out here having nilly-willy sex anyways, right? A conservative, traditional woman would be like, guys, look, don't be out here in these streets, because the one thing that'll make you, quote unquote, have to worry about this is letting Nug, Gavin, Gerardo, and Nug 11 shoot up the club. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So this shouldn't even be a true conservative issue, because these true traditional conservative chicks aren't in these streets, period. So they're even trying to be feminist and saying, look, even the whole accidents happen. That's a feminist argument. You know what I'm saying? Anything that takes accountability away. Yeah. And guys, let's be honest. All baby deletion is giving women a get out of jail free card for letting Nug blast up the club. That's all it is, you know? So
a positive thing and a difficult choice. Then we have Lena freaking Dunham out there wishing she could have murdered a fetus, wishing for the option to kill your child. Doesn't exactly say much about the cause, her character, or the pro-choice movement.
When was the last time you heard someone who believed in a woman's right to access safe reproductive care refer to it as pro-choice with big-ass air quotes? When did you last hear a pro-choice person refer to a woman who made the almost impossible decision to have an abortion as a straight-up baby killer?
There you go.
That was just 3 months ago, and she was talking like that.
3 months. So she couldn't even hold a position for 3 months, guys. Now, guys, I say this. Everyone on the panel, cook with me here, all right? Guys, you can have values that are diametrically opposed to mine, right? You can have principles or whatever. You can be like the most card-carrying, white sheet wearing dude, but if I don't respect what you stand for, but the fact that you stand for something, I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because at least I know where you stand. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We might be standing on complete opposite sides, but at least I know where you stand and how to deal with you. These wishy-washy broads, dude, opportunists are like Scar from The Lion King. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Long live the king. You know what I'm saying? Kicking you off the thing into the herd. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, well, it's like a rich angle, right? The conservative woman thing is a rich mine for it's because the left has been saturated, right? So for a woman, especially like her, for women to claim to be conservative gets them a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of attention because it's like, wow, look at this radical.
Yeah, she's a young firebrand. She's a spark plug. She's a firecracker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Please.
I think it's just for clout.
All right, guys. Now this is where it went big for me, right? And hold on. He said this starts at 14. Okay.
Again, I will go through them for you one more time in case you are just tuning in. Number 1, are you single? No, really. 2, make plans. We don't want a pen pal.
Okay, so his commentary starts. Okay, here we go. So guys, you remember when this went viral, right? And this is right before she met that beta husband of hers, And guys, make sure that you join the Discord, guys, because we'll probably do after hours tonight in the Discord. You know what I'm saying? We'll hang out there for a little while, and then we can cuss, swear, and say whatever we want. So, and guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. And like I said, we do have memberships now for you guys. So make sure to hit the join button or hit the link in the description. Thanks for all you guys that are members already, man. You know, I'll be dropping more members only content this week, and then we will have a members only fireside chat this week also, guys. So let me drop that in here. Let me check the likes. Okay, guys, we have 89 likes, guys. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Okay.
It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. And the age range of about 20 to I think about 55, maybe.
Hey, Colin, mobile. Marte, like I call you that? Is that what you go?
Yeah, Marte.
Yeah, and walk.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video that I did on IVF?
Yeah,
You mean
the fact that IVF has been a failure. Even the doctors came out and said it was a failure as a project.
Yeah, that one woman spent $75K or $65K. Yeah.
But guys, isn't it funny how these broads talk like IVF is a gotcha to Mother Nature and Father Time?
They always swear that they can just wait to have children. Oh, I can just wait till I'm 40 and do IVF. I'll just save my eggs. I'll just freeze my eggs. Okay, go ahead.
They find out the hard way, you know? And guys, I know women personally. I know a girl who's tried IVF 4 times. It didn't work, right? Some of my sister's friends, IVF, 70, 80, 90, 100 grand. It didn't work. So one of them, it actually worked, but their kid is yay. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
a little bit special. You know what I'm saying?
That's why there's that increase. That's why that increase in Downey.
Yeah.
Right. That's what
in the Downey.
So I know a bunch of women. I know a bunch of women that waited till like 45, 50 to try to have children, right? Before all that, you know, they didn't want to ruin their bodies or they was focused on a career, whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
And then when they found out they can't, every last one of them, they regret their decisions in private. But in public, they try to make it seem like it was the best decision in the world.
Yeah, that one podcaster, Susan Vinker, she's a coach for women that are like trying to figure out life, and she tells them, you know what? If you're 28 to 34, she said, stop this career woman stuff and do it. Like throw yourself down on broken glass and try and get a good guy. You know, you need to be everything a guy wants times 1,000 because you're older. Because she said it. There's nothing more sad than a woman that wanted to have kids but can't. That missed her window.
I think that's one of the forms of the litmus test as well too. If you can ask a woman if she shames other women for not having kids. Remember when spinster used to be a defamatory thing back in the day? They've eliminated that and took the stigma off of this.
Yes.
Me and Andrew Wilson, well, I'm actually Andrew Wilson's coach. I'm doing his dieting and all that stuff right now.
Oh, sweet,
we've gotten into deep conversations about it. I battle feminists all the time on X Spaces, and me and Andrew go in X Spaces sometimes and battle some people, and they're no-shows. So back to what I was saying, that one of the litmus tests that we can find is like, if you ask them, you know, would you be willing to shame somebody and just find a different way to find somebody to do this? It's going to be rare. Like you're going to see this in the month of February. Like if you ask somebody, hey, do you shame people for not having kids or anything like that? You're not going to find that here in Western society. If you do, you lock her up, keep her, whatever you like. They don't exist.
Guys,
that's my whole thing.
I watched a documentary. It was on India, and there was like this is in the 2000s, and the high five was like spreading in parts of India, you know. And a lot of times you'd have men who would still like. There was parts of India they would go work in the oil fields, so men would go work away from their wives a lot, and of course they had 304s who would go around to all the camps where the men were, and the husband got the high five from a prostitute, right?
Yeah.
Well, the wife, she was married, and she said, "Well, I have to have a child because womanhood in India is determined by if you have a child or not." So think about how ingrained child rearing is to her mindset, to where by the end of the documentary, she had got the high five, then had a baby and used drugs so that the baby didn't have the high five. But she willingly exposed herself to the high five so that she can have a baby for her husband. Crazy, right? Now, I'm not trying to say that that's a good thing. But what I'm saying is that's in the non-West, how much they places prioritize marriage and children. It's like, for instance, guys, why is it we hear all these B-dubs and these white women, right? Oh, why is it that I'm in college and I have my PhD in underwater lesbian studies, right? You know, and I'm strong and independent. I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. But I can't get married. Colin, Mobile, Marte, what group of women are the most educated and make the most money?
White women.
No.
Asians.
Asians, thank you. Who's the most married group of women in America?
Asians.
Who's the least divorced?
Asians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it that Mai Ling and Anu and Chen Wu and all these chicks, they're engineers, they're software developers, lawyers, doctors, they're married and have kids. And they out-earn white women. They out-earn Jewish women. It's not the degree, it's not the education, it's the values. They say degree, money, husband, kids, all equally.
Yeah, they know when they go back to their home countries, if they would just lead by the accolades of them having a career and a degree,
yes,
everybody will look at them like, oh, so where's your children? Where's your husband?
Facts.
They literally have a thing over there in the east. In the east, they say they're leftover women, and they've removed they haven't removed the stigmatization over this, so that way, you know, they keep this culturally like in place. If you look at blacks, everybody else throughout the nation, you know, they've removed the stigma, but in Asian, they got a one up, right? While everybody else is fighting each other.
Yep. And here's the thing: they get judged for not having enough children.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got one? What are you doing?
Yeah,
you look at the small hats.
Yeah.
The small hats are saying, look, y'all only got one kid. What are you doing? Every single group that's doing the best in America has this emphasis on marriage and children. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, those men actually have women that want to play ball. You know what I'm saying? Whereas us black men, white men, we don't. We don't. Yeah. And that keep going, walk. Sorry.
Even the lady who did the show Sex and the City, like I think she's like a billionaire. She's like a multi-billionaire, that show. But she's an old spinster. And she said if she could go back and
Sarah Jessica Horseface?
Yeah. No, that's the lead actor. The one who actually wrote the show. No, the one who actually wrote the show.
Shonda Rhimes?
Yeah. She said if she could go back in time, she would gladly give up that show to have a husband and children.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. You guys remember, see, here's the thing, guys, we can actually be okay with our money and accomplishments. Colin, you're my age. Walk, you're about my age too. You're older than me. Marte, Mobile, do you guys remember the real Ghostbusters? The cartoon in the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember the episode with the old rich guy that wanted them to open like a portal to like the spirit world so he could take it all with him? He said, I can't take it with me, huh? I'll be damned. Do you remember? And he was like, I'm taking all these billions with me to the spirit world.
No, dude, but my favorite was Scrooge McDuck, dude. Like, remember DuckTales? Remember how he never got married? How he had like this tower where he had like all his money, it was like a swimming pool, and he just go up there like dive into it and do backstrokes.
He was swimming in it, yeah. I tell you guys, if I won the $180 million lotto, I'd have a money bin. Straight up, dude. I'm not lying. I'd be swimming through it, you know? But yeah, so yeah, guys, this is the first time where this whole thing blew up. Because Tomi Lahren was like, oh, it was Tomi Lahren and it was Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? They were blowing up around this time, you know? And then Tomi Lahren took that left turn, you know? So let me see who Neon, what's up, dude? Let me see, who am I missing? We're good. Chris Mike, what's up, man?
I honestly think that's why Candace Owens had her baby, because she realized the aesthetics of how it looked of her calling herself a conservative, but she wasn't willing to have children.
Who, Candace Owens?
Yeah.
Candace Owens has kids.
Now she does.
Yeah. And she's married.
When she first started off, she wasn't. Yeah.
Oh.
Even 60. A lot of men are trash. A lot of men don't know how to treat women. A lot of men don't know how to really, quite frankly, pull their heads out of the sand and pay attention. So I am going to help you. And these are some of the things that I've experienced. These are some of the things my friends have experienced. I'm just going to lay a few things out. They haven't all happened to me. Some of them have just happened to my friends.
Please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
A lot of them have happened to me.
The wall is a motherfucker.
And I've made notes.
Yeah.
By the way, I've made notes. This is how invested I am in this because I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks solid now. First question for men. If you like a girl, if you're even somewhat interested in a girl, you need to ask yourself this question. Are you single? No, I don't mean are you kind of single, seeing 5 people, dating somebody, still kind of in a relationship.
Now, guys, why would she have to ask a guy that, right? Because she's after Chad, right? And Chad Thunderbang and Tyrone Thunderstroke are never ever just smashing one chick, right, guys? Guys,
Yeah.
who has a dog barking or something?
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys,
tell me whoever's got the dog. She's been ran through so many times.
Yep. And now she's trying to settle down. We all know that she went to college, right? So we all know, guys, you know what she went to college for, right? Right, guys?
Ride the choo-choo.
Come on, ride a train and ride it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The group of Amtrak U.
And now she wants Chad. And Chad, you know, in her spaces is some CEO, COO, some like high-priced LA lawyer, some athlete, entertainer, and she's just right here. She was like right past the wall, blonde girl with a loud mouth, right? And she's realizing she has no leverage. She already has old lady hands right here, you know? Look at that. Starving Martin, what's up, man?
I thought it was just me who was always creeped out by the old lady hands. I really thought it was just me. But like the old lady hands are just creepy, man. They're creepy.
Yeah.
I don't care how good a woman looks, man. Look at her hands, and they're just an instant turn off.
Just gross, yeah.
Kind of broken up, kind of on again, off again, kind of married, kind of divorced. Are you actually single? That means single.
You guys, this mindset here, the reason why this gives you that, you know what I mean? Is because, guys, she's trying to say men need to. The moment that a woman starts with men have to, that's a feminist, and guys, that's BS. Men don't have to do anything. That's the gag, right, guys? When they walked away from the social contract, so when it comes to dating and marriage, us men don't have to do anything anymore. We don't have to do anything. When they liberated themselves sexually and all this other stuff, they liberated us too. Because now, guys, you used to have to be rich to be a bachelor. You know what I'm saying? The Hugh Hefner guy. Now you can make 60 grand a year, live in a cheap place, have a 7-year-old truck, and live the life. What were you saying?
Think about how much of a loser she is, right? So she was surrounded by she was surrounded by rich conservative men who were single and bachelors. So she had her pick of the creme de la creme when it came to men, and she still chose to ride the carousel.
Yeah.
And now she's been kicked off the carousel, and she's angry.
Yep. She's mad. Yep. And I don't even know. Tomi Lahren, husband. Let's see.
One of the ironic things I like to point out is that if you notice, this is something that female dating coaches have dealt with in mass. The hubris of her to put out a video like this. And then if you notice, there's a mass exodus of female dating coaches leaving their jobs in spaces. There's been many videos about this. And if you look at female dating people that set up venues to where you have the speed dating and all this other shit, guys have had a mass exodus from that. Women have actually complained about all women just showing up and no dudes. So this right here is evident. By looking at this video, she's giving out trash advice. It's just really bad and abhorrent. So female dating coaches complain about this exact video right here is a demonstration. It's antithetical to women even mapping on to having babies, matter of fact. So if she puts out this advice and other women take this advice, yeah, they're still going to be dating the 20%, and that's it. Nobody's going to be having babies, and you're still going to have this birth problem that we're having at the reduction of birth rates.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I think this whole thing needs to happen. The birth rates need to drop, all this stuff, because America is a very reactionary country. We are not.
I agree. I agree.
But guys, men's rights, all this stuff is not going to work. I was on a live stream about a year ago, and this guy was like, "Whoa, that's why we have to." I'm like, "No, it's not going to happen." Men are checking out en masse. Men are minding their own business. There's MGTOW, and then there's what I call men minding their own business. The MGTOW is actively avoiding. Men minding their own business is more just apathy in general, right? You're more apathetic about like, I don't even care. You have guys that are minding their own business where they're just they're just so done with it. They're just kind of. You guys know how the guy, a narrator from Fight Club was when he couldn't sleep. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he's just like, and life is just kind of passing by. He's just kind of like stulling and staring ahead, just like, and then what? Every now and then he would snap out of it. That's men minding their own business. They aren't stopping to help chicks change their tires. They aren't taking girls on dates. They don't have any female friends. But what will happen is enough men are going to start minding their own business, and it's going to hit a tipping point. Okay, it might not be 5%. It might need to be 10%, 15%, 20% of men, especially you white men, are going to have to walk away. Right now, white men are joining we have the lowest white male enlistment rate in the military in the history of our country.
I was just going to point that out.
Think about how insane that is. Yeah.
The scales are really going to tip when white men, because see, it's nothing. They don't care that black or Hispanic men have stopped getting married, or Asian men. They really don't care if Asian men, because they'll be like, oh, who wanted Asian men anyway, right?
Yeah.
But when white men stop signing up for marriage, when white men stop signing up for the military, when white men stop joining the police force, that's when it's just like the drug epidemic.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, no one cared that all these black people were hooked on crack or whatever, and that we were losing our uncles and our brothers and all that. Nobody cared, right? They called it a war on drugs, but they locked us up for it, right? Mm-hmm. But now, here in 2024, now we have a lot of white men on opioids. It's an epidemic.
It's a medical problem.
Yeah.
It's a medical problem. But yeah.
So white men, this is all on your shoulder.
I think Top G, he said it the best. Guys, watch Top G. He was on the Hodge Twins podcast. It was 3 hours of just being hilarious. The Hodge Twins had Tate, and they had and then the next week they had Jesse Lee Peterson on there. It was hilarious.
Jesse is hilarious, man.
Dude, Top G said it the best. Western white men are the only ones dumb enough to listen to their women. You don't see Arab men, you don't see African men, you don't see Asian men en masse. No, they don't do it. So they're actually looking at white dudes in the West and pointing and laughing and saying, "What are you guys doing?" And then saying, "Oh wait, you guys listen to your chicks and you'll let us into your country? Sweet."
Right.
Guys, we'll watch a little bit of this, and then we'll actually go to Megyn Kelly, and then we will go to Tomi Lahren when she got cooked by Andrew Wilson on Piers Morgan's Morgan, because Marte, you watched that, right? When Andrew cooked that entire panel, they had that Julie Bindel feminist chick, that toasty guy, the zesty guy, and
Yeah,
then
of course. Me, him, and Jay got into a big conversation about it, and we all agree on that. They set themselves up for that, and I think it's about, like, when you were talking about the pendulum swinging, I think it's because guys like me, Andrew Wilson, and everybody else go into these spaces and we just magnify it. That's all we're doing is just exposing it.
Well, if there's one thing that I can say in particular about Andrew Wilson, right? Andrew Wilson, number one, because I'm not religious, but I would say that if anyone would convert me, it would be someone like him. Because Andrew Wilson talks in a Christian way, in a way that Christian people spoke in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? There's generations of young men that never grew up hearing a Christian guy speak in the way that Andrew Wilson does.
Well, there's a reason for that. Me and Edgar were talking about this. It's because we can't be perceived as harmless.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we have this whole notion of Ned Flanders in the West, and we've been depicted as a certain thing where we can be walked over as simps and everything else, or to make, no, that's not how it is. Jesus flipped tables. Like, he told the woman at the well, you're a hoe, you got 5 husbands. Like, so if you go into it, it's like if you're a real Christian, you push back and you fight back. You're not a pussy. You don't take it. That's not how it works.
Well, the other thing too is A, he stands on business, and B, Colin, you watch Andrew Wilson, right? Whoever watched him, Marte.
Yeah,
I'm a very, very, very good people person. I know people very, very, very well.
Yeah,
and I don't know if Andrew realizes this. Ask him the next time you talk to him. His laugh when someone says something stupid, it's disrespect, it's disdain, and it's disregard, all in one sound effect. When he laughs at someone that's acting stupid, right? It sums up what the audience is thinking so much. I don't think he realizes he does it consciously, but anytime that he laughs, right, it's so dismissive and disdain.
Well, the funny thing is that we have these automatic human functions that we have as a response mechanism. It can be towards nervousness or anything else. But when he does it, there's no reputation for it. And you can't point it out because he could just say, hey, that's just a natural human function. Yet it's the most disrespectful shit anybody could hear.
But he's doesn't do it, and he's literally laughing at how absurd the person is.
Yeah.
Like you can call it disrespectful, but in his mind, he's like, yo, you can't honestly believe this, but it's so hilarious.
Yeah. It's like, you can't honestly be this stupid. That's literally what it is. Yeah.
Spacious, what's up, dude? And I honestly believe that people like Andrew Wilson are the reason why Gen Z young men are becoming more and more conservative and actually more religious too.
Well, I can actually give you a good reason for this. It's because Christianity, not to rail on Christianity ethics, and I don't Bible thump or anything like that, even though me and Andrew are the same. He's the one that converted me. The reason why is because it's patriarchal in structure. In order to get people to a religious sect or anything like that, patriarchy means rule of the father. And what other way to get men on your platform is to say it's patriarchal. And that makes sense to anybody else, whether you're red pill, whether you're not anything else in the manosphere. Like, it's going to make sense, and every guy noticed this. Like, he's not preaching to women, he's talking to men, and men can relate and get on board with this.
Guys,
this is something we can relate to.
Here's the thing. Andrew Wilson's not a red pill guy. So he's pro-male because he's pro-patriarchy, but guys, his values don't have to align with our red pill values, but we have the same agenda ultimately. That's just the thing, guys. I say this. I don't agree with everything Jordan Peterson says. I don't agree with everything Top G says. I don't agree with everything Chris Mike, who's in the chat, says. But we agree with enough stuff to realize that we're in our own lanes, but we're headed in the same direction. So people can try and say, oh, from a red pill perspective, Andrew got cooked because he married a single mom, so everything else he's doing is just doesn't matter, all because he differs from us on one issue. That's crazy to me. That's nuts. That's crazy. If you keep, guys, we cannot be like these 304s Have you guys ever noticed that 304s never have any people that they can call leaders or anything because they always try and disqualify each other? In the same way that the woke left, yeah, you guys notice the tribalism that happens with the woke left because they're always trying to disqualify each other. Oh, well, Colin's this about all these issues, but he doesn't agree with the Palestine thing. And oh, IFBB, he's probably this, but he doesn't agree with, he's not a socialist. We cannot have this intertribalism. You know what I'm saying?
Well, men are different because we can agree, we can disagree on things and still get along. Meanwhile, women are ironically, they'll say, well, I'm independent. I don't need no man. While the same insult is, that's why you don't have a man.
Exactly. Here's the thing, guys, even with dating, guys, put a 1 in the chat if your mom and dad or if your grandparents had different political views, right? Guys, back in the day when men and women courted, they would get to know each other and realize they had differences. You used to have men who were more liberal, who were classical liberals, and wives who were super conservatives, right? Or you would even have like you remember Family Ties walk? Family Ties? But anyways, so now if you go out on a date with a chick, she wants you to agree with her on everything. That's why guys don't say anything on dates anymore, because they want to say, oh, well, I'm pro LDHGTV. Are you? And some simp because he wants to sniff her draws. Yes. Well, I'm pro Palestine. Oh, I am too. Because if you say anything that they don't agree with, it's their way or the highway. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't used to be this way. Mysterious. What's up, dude? So yeah, guys, I don't do the whole. I take each YouTuber that's pro male on the summary of what their message is and what their actions are. Right? Andrew Wilson, he's about patriarchy. He's about traditional gender roles. Right? And here, I think an Andrew Wilson world, even though he married a single mom, would be a good word because he's not a tradcon. You don't ever see him. Well. Right, guys? Guys, cook with me on the panel. Let's talk about tradcons. Well, the man of Jesus would take on this woman and her bastard kids because that's what a man of Jesus would do. And even though you got divorced and got half your stuff taken and lost your pension, a man of Jesus will get married again. Clown world.
Well, we have this saying nowadays, and it's called astroturfing. I don't know if you're pretty familiar with this, and we're talking about trad wives cosplaying as real trad, and they're not. They're just conditional trad. What happens is you get married, and they flip the switch to now you're having a sexless marriage. And that's the thing about Andrew. We've had conversations about this too. He doesn't tell other men to go ahead and date single moms. You'll never hear him say this. Meanwhile, Rachel, she's rare. Like that's a really rare gem. Is somebody who she hasn't slept around like people say she has, and we've had conversations about this. If you look at their family unit, her vote is the same as his. Any belief she has is the same as his. She steps and falls in line with Andrew. That's it. You're never going to find that, and that's extremely rare. This is why I would never endorse or tell people you should go date a single mom or anything like that. That's not my message at all. My message is to be the best person that you can be and support other men. But just know that, you can't have allowance. And when you have allowance, what you allow is what will continue. That's where a lot of men go wrong with this.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is, guys, look at, I said, any major, figure that's pro-male, right? Jordan Peterson says a lot of stuff that I roll my eyes at. You know what I'm saying? But is what he's trying to do in men's empowerment and helping young guys out, is that what he's trying to do? So, okay, Scozy in Australia. Guys, I want you guys, to everyone in the chat, give a round of applause for Scozy and all the guys in the UK, Australia, and Canada, right? Because I don't know how they've made it one more week in a feminist hellhole like that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So, guys, Megyn Kelly, right? Megyn Kelly, she stepped in it earlier this year, right? Because, guys, she says Ladies, it is possible to make your own money, have your own career, pay for your own swanky New York apartment, and find a man who loves you, wants to have and raise kids with you, and wants to be with you and only you. The only thing stopping you, your decision to settle for less.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Clown world. Look at that, man. Look at that. And of course,
Yeah, most of these trad women, they're cosplaying as they're basically men, the shell of what you would see as men, but they're outwardly they're women. So when you go ahead and by the way, I'm shadow banned on Twitter because I destroy these liberals and F pages.
Whoa, you're causing too much trouble, are you?
Yeah. But somebody said, "Well, you're banned. You're gonna be out soon." But I'll be back locked up again anyway. So a lot of these tradcon women that you'll see, they'll have trad and emote some trad feelings, all this other stuff. But meanwhile, they're tits out on YouTube, doing OF and all this other stuff. So they're not really exactly. Yep.
With their turkey neck.
Thirst trapping until that wall hits, for sure.
Guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Oh, man, we're at 115 likes. That's a record, guys. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. Look at that, man. Thanks for that, guys. Yeah, yeah, and they still want the attention. They still want the... And let's watch this, guys, because this was the whole Megyn Kelly thing, right? And guys, she literally says the exact feminist bar for bar, flow for flow type thing. You know what I'm saying? Listen to all the words she uses. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. Guys, hit the join button, hit the super chat button. Thanks, guys. And yeah, guys, hey, I think it was the last like three weeks, like the last month, there's an algorithm change. So a lot of the guys in our space, the algorithm hasn't been treating us very well. I don't know if you guys noticed that in a lot of the videos that guys like me and Chris and OSSR and all of us make. But guys, yeah, man, just make sure you're still subbed to all the channels you are, guys, and just try and hit all the likes and leave comments. Because guys, yeah, this month April's been just brutal. I got a little update saying that the algorithm changed, you know. So it was Mr. Smith. What's up, dude? Yeah, he says the covert feminist masquerade of being on the men's side. Yeah, Chris Allen, what's up, man? Okay, here we go.
On the right, young women, I talk to young conservative women all the time about their lives and their goals and, you know, the things that they want. And what's happening is they can't find men who are maybe more conservative. Usually they're looking for somebody who is religious, you know, like a lot of conservative women tend to be God loving conservatives.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Is that why they're deleting children? Right? Garrett Grant, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Why is it when you start talking about turkey necks, snowboard shows up? Snowboard, man. How's it going, man?
Going good. I was listening. I was driving home and I was listening to this on the way home.
So how do you feel about so can you tell us what your definition of conservative is, and then let us know if you agree that all these conservative chicks are all feminists? But RH, what's up, dude? Steve, what's going on? Cal Cannon, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you, man. How you been, man? Go ahead, my
Folk
friend.
and Cannon, that's funny. Well, I think conservative doesn't necessarily have to be a political view, even though it's kind of classified as that. But a real conservative woman would want to, you know, save herself for marriage. That's out the window in modern day. and value traditionalism, and like will want to be a housewife and be proud of that, and be a homemaker and be useful at being at home. Like, so they should know, like they should view it as an art form in a way. Like they should know how to sew, how to cook, how to bake bread, how to plant and garden and do a lot of these things which they've traditionally done, but they should take some joy in that. And so I think if you're a conservative, you would like that by default and not need the modern day woman, Sex in the City. Like, I think you would just know that that's kind of like some BS. It's tempting. It's probably tempting. So that's what I'd say what a traditional conservative woman should be. And also had a strong father figure, respects men. She's saying, like, I'm not getting married till you meet my dad, and he's make sure you're not a weakling, and a couple things like that. And maybe even perhaps even have a religious component to it as well.
That there's something to that, and that
go ahead.
Shame is a huge part of the religious component, where like you don't want to let your family and your community down, right? So, and there's also the whole thing with part of our whole like of dating and mating throughout history has been involving the elders of that gender to vet the younger of that gender. So oftentimes a mom, the aunts, the grandma met the future daughter-in-law and we're like, nah, she's kind of a steezer. You know what I'm saying? Or the dads would meet the guy and they would sum the guy up. They would vet the guy, because guys can sniff out if a dude's a piece of trash or not. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works.
Exactly. And it would also be like uncles and things as well. Like the extended family would be, they act as a filter, so to speak. And like, that's why people used to want to, marry. If you're Irish, they want you going for Irish and and all that, because you have more congruency with what you value. So you want someone congruent, like with what you value and what you believe in, basically. Otherwise it won't really work. So if a lot of these women all of a sudden say like, oh, now this is what I value, it's like, well, not really, because you didn't value it before.
You haven't valued it back when you were freaking letting the whole basketball team ride the train on you. Yeah,
exactly.
Here's one thing I'd like to point out.
It's only convenient to value it later.
Yeah.
Here's one thing I'd like to point out. If you notice in the circumstances that both of you brought up, absent men, this happens, right? So if you take the man out of the picture, we start noticing something, and I'd like to point out a distinct social occurrence that's happened, right? So if you take women, right, they have fillers, BBLs, and all this other shit, right? Are they ever shamed by other women for having this? But take the men's point. Let's go ahead and go to the men's side. Men get shamed for having lifts. Men get shamed for using roids. Men get shamed for what's that procedure where they break their legs and do all this. Like, there's all that, but you don't have the
implants. Yeah.
Right. So you have all this shame on one side, but if you look on the woman's side, can you tell me where this ever exists? Weaves, all this. If you have a woman and her hair feels like Easter basket grass on my chest and she's got a weave, like, no man wants that. Like, she's getting. Yeah, go ahead.
We even shame other dudes for lying about their freaking money game. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
How many times have you either like know a guy or whatever where he like rented a car and was driving around like it was his Lambo, or he was like trying to lie and say that he like you guys were at the bar and he was trying to like, see, if you're trying to lie to chicks to get in their pants, that's fine. But you guys were in a friggin' in a group setting, he's like, oh, well, I'm a black belt jiu-jitsu. No, you're not. Oh, well, I'm a stockbroker. No, you're just trying to look cool in front of everyone. You're trying to get social status. You're lying. You're trying to lie about your men.
But even then, a white knight or a simp will use this against a man by trying to get women. If he gets called out in front of a bunch of women, he'll go ahead and try to pull her to his side. So even that shame.
Yeah. Hey, Marte, you better watch
What you say about women when there's no women around?
Here I come to save the day.
Yeah.
See, ladies, I put that misogynist in his place. Can I please sniff your underwear now?
Exactly. Exactly.
I had a conversation with a chick today that's kind of similar to this, and she was like, well, why don't more guys like be more sensitive with each other and stuff? She's like, I know a guy who's like running like a men's group and they all talk to each other and stuff. I was like, I guarantee you he's the man bun archetype yoga type guy.
Yeah.
He's only doing that to try and get chicks. Like if he had the men's group, he doesn't need to tell you about it. He's telling you about it to get this reaction out of you, which worked.
Or they
So
probably
there's a
all
lot of
blow each other,
LARPing
you know?
and stuff. Yeah, they probably do that. Yeah, it's some therapy. They go real
A
deep
men's
there.
group. They
Yeah,
all
it's called
talk to
Swallow
each
Your
other.
Pride that day. Yeah.
Please. Come on, man. Come on. Here's the thing, guys. Once again, I've said this. Colin, Marte, walks, snowboard. All of us meet at a dock because we're all going fishing. We got cold beer and fishing poles. Guys, how long do you think that we can go without saying a word to each other?
Hours.
Until one of us gets a bite.
Hours.
Yeah.
Well, not even that. Guys can sit around and just roast each other all day, even before going out. A guy can just sit there and be like, bro, I'm a king, I'm a 10. No, you're a fat ass. You know, all this other shit. You know, on the woman's side, you don't see this. You see lifting. It's a lot of backstabbing. They're going to lie to each other's face. Nah, girl, you're going to go ahead and get that queen.
Yeah.
You know, all this other shit. So, I mean, we're distinctly different. Right.
Yep.
And that's the that's the whole thing that I was talking about. Absent men, there's no control. There's no checks and balances or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's why you have no shame out of the women's sphere when you take men out of the picture, because there's no patriarchal structure in which they can't just chaos.
Crazy is, guys, you remember, well, I haven't asked this question in a while. Guys, yet Y or N, yes or no in the chat. Can you be pro-male and be a Democrat? Yes or no?
Oh,
on the panel.
No.
Yes or
No. No.
Right? These chicks, guys, if one of the worst things that we've done is let these knuckleheaded 304s vote. Because, guys, what is the gender that is the sex that votes for all the stupid things? Open board,
women,
LDHGT, all. But then what do they always, just like we saw on Thursday, guys, what do they always say? We need our male allies to come and help us fix the problem that we just made. And if they think that we're gonna freaking walk and march for them,
you've been had.
Nope.
You've been took.
Nope.
Been hoodwinked. Been led astray. Run on
pocket limp. What's up, dude? All right, let's do this.
They can't find a lot of young men who want to marry a working woman now. This is an actual problem that's coming up on the right. And to me, it's so sad because it's like, how did we get to the point where we're now telling young, conservative, amazing women that they're not attractive if they also work?
Because they're not attractive if they also work. Or here's the thing, guys, work, but here's the thing. I would say this: have a chick who doesn't define herself by her job, and I say job for a reason because most women don't have careers; they have jobs. How are you going to define yourself by being a freaking shift manager at Arby's? What are you talking about, right? And then oftentimes you will have like let's just say Marte makes like $500,000 a year as a partner at a firm. He works 70 hours a week. He has to travel. He has to be the legal rep for multi-million-dollar deals and this high pressure job. Then he marries a chick who is a social worker, makes a tenth of what he does, but she brings more stress into the relationship. How does that work? Well, you don't understand my job. You don't listen to my. He can wipe his ass with the money that you make. His time is worth so much more than yours, but he has to stop and consider her feelings. This is why, guys, be with the chick who her identity is this is conservatism. Her identity is family and children and other things. If she wants to work part-time, right? Maybe do other things, but this little stress-free job where she can, kind of make extra money, fine.
Yeah,
but a lot
works
of
at a
these
flower
jobs,
shop or something.
yes, that these women
something
do.
easy like that.
Yeah, nurses, aides, teachers, all these jobs, they're high stress jobs that don't get paid anything, but they make these jobs their entire identity. And then you have to pay for it. A friend of mine, guys, true story. He has a PhD in engineering, okay? His wife has some environmental science. She's mad because he makes so much more than her. She's mad. She's not happy for him. She's mad. He goes, well, why don't you go back to school? Because, I'm an engineer and you have an underwater basket theory. Guys, what does she say?
How dare you?
Clown world. How are you supposed to win when the person that sleeps next to you is mad at your success? Insane.
They choose to, let's say, do what I'm doing and what you're doing and get their voice out there. But I'll stick with me just because I think conservatives listening to this will like the thought of another Megyn Kelly voice up and coming.
No, we don't. Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't we want that? Why would we take somebody who's talented in this field and really wants to make a difference and have the messaging to her be, you're really not that valuable unless you give it up and go into the home and only have a family. And
no one said only. No, guys, look at Andrew Wilson's wife. Look at all the stuff she's doing right now. And she had her kids early, and now she's older, and now she's free to do whatever the hell she wants.
Only raise a family. And not only are we sending her that message, but young men are actually believing that. They're actually believing it, especially on the right.
Good.
Because the trad mom has.
Because that's how men have been on the right. Guys, men on the right.
We didn't change our position.
Thank you. We haven't changed.
Yeah.
Facts. We've stayed the same. And once again, she's trying to say that women walked away from the soul contract and that men need to change. There's that men need to. Men need to change. Shit. Please.
Has gotten so popular. And it's no, if we do that, we're
Can
not
I
going to
say
have
something,
any
AJ?
strong.
Say again?
I think part of the problem is it's kind of a male and female problem. In America, we're so internalized to just work. Work is kind of who you are. Work is kind of what you're worth, what you bring to the table. If you don't have a job, you're a bum, that type of thing. So some of it, I think, from the public school system and stuff is just you're like, hey, shut up. You're meant to be like a factory worker. And now these 304s will be like, I want to be a factory worker too. And they're finding out this sucks to be the factory worker. You had it better. So they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, and now go back on it a little bit.
But even time period wise, right? They want to be able to go out and get the student loan debt and these degrees. It's an ego thing, and then just tuck it away.
Yes.
And then have some simp just swoop in, and that isn't how it works. And for men, it is how we are defined. We are defined by our work and by what we produce. Here's the thing about guys, that the majority of us, because remember, men out-earn women at every single level. All men out-earn all women. So us men, we have a better idea of we want to be known for what we do and compensated too. You will
take
not
pride
find,
in it.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Men don't even need to take pride in it.
Yeah.
If we're getting paid. That, guys, okay, Marta, everyone on this panel right now, if you had a job that you loved the job, you loved the people, you loved the commute, and they said, hey, we're going to double your salary. Let's just say you're making $100,000, and they say that we're going to double your salary, but this job is going to test your nerves. It's probably going to piss you off. Would you take the job for your $200,000 a year?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Women
Well, Men are good when they build their tolerance level of stress. When you look at women, it's so I'm writing a book. It's called The Female Warrior Fallacy. When you see women, when they build their stress tolerance level, they develop ovarian cysts faster, hair falls out at a faster rate, they age, they age faster. A bunch of other things happen, so it's detrimental to women for sure.
Marte, you're into fitness and all this other stuff, right? Can you help me out here?
I'm a pro athlete for sure.
Yeah. So you understand the intangibles about the biological differences that's between men and women. We can talk about fast twitch, we can talk about bone density, but here's the thing. When I mean men and women are built differently. If you take a 135-pound chick and a 135-pound dude, I'm 6'3", I'm 250. If I do a blast double on a chick and a dude, the dude's gonna be able to take that hit easier. Or if I do a hip toss and toss the chick and toss just off the street, the guy's gonna be able to take the bump easier.
Well,
because he's
not
built
even that.
different. He's built different. That's how
So
it works.
it's even further than that. So if you look at girls when they grow up, they've even done social studies on this to where you see girls, they're rough and tumble play is not the thing that they head towards doing. When they show little girls, they put like building blocks. Girls will sit there and cry, right? Dudes will just push through the building blocks, get to the other side. So they'll pick games that are neutral, right? Guys will pick King of the Mountain. There has to be a leader. We'll assign roles and things like that. So when you say build different, we're built different in other ways besides physiognomy. So even past that. So, I mean, I've wrecked women in debates. And speaking of which, I do got to go in 15 minutes. I have a debate to do. But yes, it even surpasses this as well, too. So men are better at women at everything, even being Woman of the Year. So, yeah.
But even tracking targets, generating force, right? We're just so much better at women than things. Well, guys, hold on. Here, guys, let's finish this, and then we'll go to Fel and TikTok as promised.
The only place where we might fall a little bit short is like manipulation would be maybe the only but that's because that's the only tool that they have that can check us.
I would say that guys have a monopoly on force, which leads us to greater roles of manipulation because we have something that can back up our manipulation that we do. So that's an edge over that. So they don't even got us with that.
Marte, do you have like a channel or anything you want to plug?
I follow me on X where I'm shadow banned. I'm going to be on there soon. We're building a YouTube channel and I have a debate channel started, but we're going to build 10 episodes before you start.
Are you on Discord?
I tried to start it up. I need help getting it. So maybe AJ, we can get in contact about that.
Yeah.
Just tech issues. That's it.
Get Discord, but can you drop your Twitter in the private chat here, and I'll drop it in the chat, and then if you're starting out at your channel, let me know if you need any help, man. Because there's
I got a producer and stuff like that. We were on a channel with Pearl, and me and Pearl were going back at it, back and forth. And me and Rachel talked about it, and I concede she's completely right about that. Religion doesn't protect you from getting wrecked by women. So
that's true.
But drop it, and I'll go ahead and we'll
put it in the
figure
private
something
chat,
out.
man. And then let me know. And then but let's watch this, guys.
Or
one other quick thing. You know what sums up Pearl's channel in a way? It's literally like biblical. Don't cast pearls to swine. So you're getting, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like what her whole channel is telling these dumb 304s that she's doing it so the audience can learn, but the 304s and chicks she's talking to, they're not going to say like, oh, maybe you're right, and she has a point. They're just going to double down on what their delusion is.
But the thing about Pearly things that people doesn't understand is she doesn't give guys advice. She might use our talking points or other things, but she's telling these guys. I was on a TikTok live, and it was like going in about pick-me's, and there was these 4 B-dubs losing their mind about Pearl. It was hilarious. Like I had to go in there and just rile them up, right? You know, but like she's a lightning rod for all these 304s. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't try and do like these other chicks. What kind of simp would go and schedule an hour-long coaching session with a broad about dating and life? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of these female grifters in the space where they're like, oh my God, I can coach guys. And you guys remember I did a thing on that, why men need a female dating coach, please.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run on muck.
Full power. You are correct. They have the Russian female team, Illegal Legends, and they got cooked. It's hilarious.
To provide a
Pearl
role.
won't give advice, but she'll give is claims, but not ought claims. She'll give descriptors of everything else, but she's not going to give prescriptors of what you ought to do. And I mean, I commend her for that. When you have a female in a female space giving odd claims, I tend to be worried about that for sure.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. This is the dumb thing about like wokey wokes, and then about like guys, sorry to say it, I am black. If you go to like a lot of black spaces, well, Colin Snowboard, you're white. You can't say, like, dude, they're saying 2 + 2 is 4. They can't say 2 + 2 is 4 because they're white. That's crazy to me. I'm black. 2 + 2 is 4. Snowboard says 2 + 2 is 4. How does that make sense? Guys, this is a difference between us.
But
like,
they're saying 202, 2 + 2 is 304.
Yeah. Or 2 + 2 identifies as 5. You know what I'm saying? In the wokey woke spaces. What's that?
Oh, no, I was just going to backtrack, but actually kind of ties in the point that you just made. Backtracking, women, it's not so much that they're masters of manipulation, they're masters of deception.
Yes. It's nebulousness, guys.
I would agree with that. That's fair.
Good point.
The term that I like to say that the biggest trick that modern women have done is made everything nebulous. They want terms to not mean anything so they can apply them.
But I would push back against that, and I would say men are even better at deception because the best chess players in the world are men. And that, if you think about it, thinking 5 moves ahead, there's a lot of deception that goes along with that. So even if you think about that, we're better women at that too.
That's not deception, though. If
I think you can mislead people with certain moves you take, and there's a lot of things that we do.
Deception because you know you're in a situation where you could be. So if
compromising. So look at 007 James Bond. Who was that? Was that a woman? There's a lot of deception with that too.
But if we're boxing and you throw a feint, I bite, you knock me out. That's not deception. I knew that could be part of the game.
Right. You know so what he's talking about is something that's not strategy. He's talking about
It's deception is out of delusion. So they want
this bastard kid is yours. For 8 years.
So here's what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking. What he's talking about is non-virtuous, nefarious deception. Women are better at that than men are. So when it comes to set practices as far as strategy and things like that, thinking 8 moves ahead and using logic with deception, men are better at that. But with the spur of the moment, limited, very viewpoints, feelings-led, things like that, deception, meaning like I can't trust you because you're going to be mad the next moment, and I don't know, you're not consistent. That's deception, right?
Hey.
That's what he's talking about.
A great American poet.
You got that one wrong, dude. You got that one wrong. When you talk about like the chess comparison, what you're really talking about is tactics and also rational, logical thinking that a man will use to look at the most likely outcome.
Right. But that would be perceived on the other side as deception as far as skill set, right? But what we're talking about nefarious, like intention.
But the entire
that's what I'm talking about.
Is these modern chicks now say my truth and my reality, so they make everything nebulous now. Partnership. They use Here you go.
Is a part of my journey.
Snowboard. Snowboard. Yeah, thank you. Snowboard, you are a Christian, right?
Not really. I was raised Christian. Yeah, I'm like 95% a Christian. So you will say yes for the start.
So, but here's the thing. But the reason why, women tend to say they're spiritual, guys.
Yeah, because
that's a non-descriptive descriptor. I have to ask you another question because you didn't tell me anything. That is the nature of modern woman right there. Is using these nebulous terms that don't mean any. I'm in a partnership. I want a partner. What does that mean? husband, wife.
Spiritual means she's at a festival getting boned by two man bun guys.
It's got
Spiritual means she doesn't want accountability to something.
It's got
what
a
that means.
dream catcher tramp stamp. You know what I'm saying?
And then partnership means the disintegration of hierarchy. That's what that means.
Yeah.
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 So model for younger conservative women who, and there's nothing to apologize for here, don't necessarily want to spend all their 20s and their 30s getting married and having kids, or can't. They just weren't able to meet somebody, and definitely don't need to be shamed over it.
Okay, so guys, let's go to 304 felon talk. All right, because I promised you guys we would.
Oh, hey, AJ, I got to bounce.
right,
Talk to you guys soon, okay? Send me the link.
Drop your Twitter in the private chat here on StreamYard, and then
Will
I'll
do.
drop it in the chat here. All right, buddy. Take
All
it
right,
easy.
later.
Have a good one.
Of course I'm not going to get a high. I'm a felon. Of course I'm not going to get a high paying job because every employer judges me based on my background. I'm a felon. Of course I have a camera pointing at my car because I don't want nobody to try to come up on my Cadillac converter. I'm a felon.
A Cadillac converter? What are you talking about?
Catalytic converter.
Absolute dunderhead. Someone said Cadillac converter. I'm dead.
And people, anyone who really like worries about that is kind of like a low level of thinking. I always thought that's some of the stupidest criminals. If you're going to be stealing that from someone, you're doing a ton of labor. You might as well just work at an automotive place. You're taking a chance stealing it, and then you're bringing it to a place, transporting it there where you might get busted again. So it's like you're actually doing work to just steal something. It's really stupid. But she thinks that's like good money. You know what I mean? So that's like her level of thinking.
Well, actually, she's actually sort of kind of right, because what happens is, with my, nearly 20 years of car fixing background, when you go to a repair shop or especially what used to be muffler and brake shops, there's still a few around, but when you go to a muffler shop and they replace your catalytic converter and take your old one, there's actually a licensed recycler that comes by once a month, and they count up how many old scrap converters you got, and they'll pay the shop a couple $1,000s in some cases, and these are people who are actually licensed, registered with the state. What happens with the guys who just jack up the car, crawl under there with a cordless sawzall, hack it off real quick? They actually break down the catalytic converters into the raw platinum, palladium, and then what's the other third one?
Copper, maybe.
No, not copper. I think it's another one that starts with
zinc.
P. No, it's not zinc. It's
magnesium.
No, it's it starts with a P, I believe. It's anyways, all three of those metals are actually worth way more than gold. Way more than gold. So yeah, so what these guys do is they actually take the time and the hassle to break these things down themselves. And let's just say, dude, the ones who are quote unquote semi-professionals, they make bank. They really are.
Another thing that they do is
I didn't know that. I thought they only got like $300 or something.
Oh well, another thing that they'll do is they'll steal airbags. So like they'll go to like Hondas, Accords and Civics. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll steal the airbags and then sell them to body shops like $600. And then what'll happen is so many Civics and Accords get in accidents. When you take your car there, they'll put a stolen airbag in yours and then charge your insurance the full $2,800 for a new one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Guys, I'll be right back. Let's put this on. I'll be right.
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
This is your last warning.
No. Okay. Great. Hey, no problem. Just let go.
Nope, I'm not going to let go. You have to step out. Put your right foot out.
Just hearing this voice already is making me laugh.
I'm telling you, you need to step out of the vehicle.
You're going to catch an extra charge, okay?
What charge of what?
Obstruction.
Okay.
What was my first charge?
Step out of the vehicle. Domestic battery. Step out of the vehicle.
Domestic battery.
Ma'am, step out of the vehicle.
That's not okay. Great.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
I don't want you to drop your phone. It's going to go with you.
Nothing.
You swing over here.
I will make sure that I don't go anywhere out of you guys' eyesight, breathing. I promise you. I promise you.
All right, ma'am. Thanks for being cooperative.
Oh, no. No problem.
Just let go of your hands. Yep. Where's that knife that you brought out
don't
with you?
have a knife.
Stop flexing your hands.
All of my
Ma'am, stop
clothes
flexing
and
your
my
hands.
belongings are in my car. Do you see
You just
all of my
your hand
things?
so it's
Do you, excuse me, anybody with a brain, do you see all of my clothes and my things in my
we might
car?
need 2 cups actually. Yeah.
There's probably a spatula and a rubber
chain
set
arms,
of
man.
tongs. Oh, it's really hard to cuff somebody when you're cuffing them with a knife, right? You guys all have knives, right? This is ridiculous. I'm gonna wait here until you guys find a knife. Okay? I'm gonna wait here until you guys find a knife. Okay? No.
Notice how this chick thinks she's like running shit.
Called garlic yeah, and they're right there. On the and I've been eating 2 bags of
This
them.
never
Yeah, it's
gets old.
garlic. I know, it's really garlicky.
All right, ma'am. Go ahead and step out this way.
Hey, Snowboard, you seen
Dude,
Beyond?
the croutons are right there.
Yeah.
Not your
Yeah.
Okay, good. good.
Back that way, man. To your left.
A few times.
I'm gonna wait until you guys find a knife, okay?
Go ahead and step this way.
Yeah, no problem.
Ma'am.
Just leave me alone. What?
You want your purse?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want my medication and I want my croutons, please. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking to me.
Yep, you can walk and talk.
Yeah. Are you grabbing me so f***ing hard?
Because you tried to pull away from me.
Yeah.
All right, go
You
ahead
were
and step right
hurting
there.
me.
Step right there.
I'm barefoot,
vehicle, ma'am.
dude. What are you saying?
Step up to the vehicle. Take 1 step forward. 1 more step forward.
So I
Thank you.
guarantee what happened with this girl.
Keep facing that way.
She's on 2 types of antidepressants and had about 3 drinks. So that's like having like 6 drinks.
Yeah.
Give me a
I almost
test right
guarantee that's what happened.
Seriously.
Because she looks like a little
I wanna
hefty. Like
test her now.
sometimes those antidepressants make a girl kind of like
Yeah,
heftier.
put it in the wet.
Yeah.
You freaking shut up, dude. You don't know the difference between garlic and beer, dude. Shut up.
So she had 2 or 3
things,
beers,
and
but
you're
it's
gonna
like
let
6.
him go through my stuff to get my freaking stuff.
Ma'am, do you have anything in your pockets?
Everything! He's getting everything! He's getting it! We are not married! I've never been married in my life!
He showed me a marriage.
We are not married! We are not married! He's gonna take everything from me, like always! What? You guys! Seriously! I'm minding my own business! Fuck. I'm this close to being gone! I finally have all my things in the car! I finally am so close!
So for those of you guys who don't remember this one, you guys remember that
This doesn't get old, man.
Yeah. So this guy called the cops. He's like, she's off her medicine, man. She's only like this when she drinks, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because she's supposed to be on like 3 different types of pills.
Beta.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. You know? So, anyways, I digress. There we go.
Of course, if I see a cop drive behind me, I'm gonna get paranoid and probably pull in a stranger's driveway. I see him pass by. I'm a felon. Just know if I'm riding in a car with you and we get pulled over, just know we're getting searched. I'm a felon. Of course I still carry around a backpack. I'm a felon. Of course we don't do any of the things we promised we were going to do when we got out of jail.
You tell her she's a goddamn.
Here we go, guys. Hold on. Here we go. Look at this. Oh no, guys! TikTok's being weird. Hold on.
By the way, for what it's worth, I just made a comment in the comment section. That third metal is rhodium.
Rhodium. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on, guys. Let me pull up TikTok on here. I don't know why it's always being weird over here. Hold on. 1 second, guys. Here it is. Look at this.
Come with me to get this breathalyzer off my car.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Those glasses every time. He's listening to that Jesus music.
Yeah. Look at that.
I get my breathalyzer, and a liquor store is right next to it. What
They put the freaking car things there, and the liquor store is right next door. The investor glasses. Look at that. Tila Moore, what's up, man?
Oh my god.
Good to see you, man. Car stereo plays. They have reggaeton playing. You know, that's Juan's car stereo. You understand?
A free woman, no longer property of the state of Texas. Let's go get a drink. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get no drink, y'all. But I'm going to answer a couple of questions that y'all probably going to ask in the comments anyway. How long did I have a breathalyzer? 5 years. I had a portable breathalyzer, and then once I got a car, I had a breathalyzer inside of my car. And then once that car had got flooded, I had a portable breathalyzer. And then I got a breathalyzer put back into my car. So that's how long I had the breathalyzer. Drink if I wasn't driving. No, I couldn't drink the whole 5 years. Because they did random urinalysis tests. Urinalysis?
That must have been a pretty bad DUI.
Yeah, 5 years. It's like
5 years.
Killed it. And we know it's a chick, so she took out like a whole family to get 5 years, dude.
Yeah, you know, man.
And it can show up if you drunk within the last couple of days.
Damn, look at that. Let's see. We'll do one more. Hold on.
I don't know what side of TikTok y'all are on, but I'm on the side where they're talking about federal sentencing for fraud.
Yeah, guys, I did the video on these PPP loans, man. They're coming for this cash.
I do my hair. I'm going to do a story time about how I ended up on house arrest, probation, and in JDC at 15. At this point in my life, I had a really evil stepdad who was literally out to get me, hated everything I did, hated me, having fun.
Can you guys hear this or no? Because I can't turn
No,
this up
it
anymore.
sounds like it's going crazy fast,
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. Hold on.
Kendall's not here because she's just.
Hold on, guys.
What the hell was that?
There was one where the chick had federal charges. Hold on. We'll do one more, guys. I usually have them saved, but hold on. Guys, why would you put this crap on the internet? That's the thing I don't understand. You know?
They need the attention.
Yeah.
And they kind of get it because people like us will watch it now and then.
Yeah, but
that's really mostly what it is.
Yeah.
But some simps will be like, I know you didn't do anything wrong.
TikTok.
What's up, YouTube? What's up, y'all? I know I haven't been with a video in a long time, in a couple of weeks.
Streets. I'm a bitch from the streets. I get the money. I get that money. Bitch, give me what you got.
But today I want to talk about moving in your life after being incarcerated, being a felon, just moving on in your life, because it can get really, really hard. So, my last video, I talked about just some of the things that I had went through being or during the time that I was incarcerated. A little bit of evidence, just things that were just like not adding up. So I want to talk to y'all today about like being a felon and being released, because some people don't be understanding the dynamic of what it brings or what's going on or anything like that. So the first thing I want to say is being a new felon is very different. Just adjusting to life, period. Coming home, most of us starting over from scratch, trying to just figure our way out here.
Emoji Mister said, "Is that a transformer?" I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like a dude in jail. Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to move, especially if you're trying to do things correctly, if you're trying to get back into just your normal life. And
What? I wonder what this knucklehead went to jail for. Hold on. No captions. Come on, man. I'm not gonna sit. See, this is how I don't know how guys who go through like people's entire stories on TikTok. I can't do it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit through all these and like try and figure out what her story is. My face routine ain't nothing gonna help that face. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. But and of course she has a kid. Of course.
What?
All right, guys. Let's go. Here we go. Now, guys, we all know who this Amala and Kobe chick is, right?
Yeah, the one on the far right.
Now, there's a couple things
in the picture
about Amala, right? You know, Amala's pretty base when it comes to a lot of things, right? But I think that where she stepped in it is that she calls out modern women. You know, she's an attractive chick. People think that she's based when it comes to the LDHTV stuff. But guys, when it comes to, she doesn't really touch on marriage or relationships much, even though she will call out modern women, right? Guys, what shows that she's a feminist are her views on marriage, okay? And she was on the whatever podcast, right? And that's what reminded me that she's a closet feminist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I know what I've seen her on that too. And she was trying to bend to get that audience, and it makes it more of what he likes on the show. But she got all of her name from like doing stuff with PragerU. So oh, she's with PragerU. She's a legit conservative and stuff. But PragerU is kind of using her as a token black too, in a way.
Here's the thing, dude. Smash this. She's probably a total friggin' rat bag in the sack.
Yeah,
she's one of those crazy broads.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tattoo sleeve, but she's still trying to have this like put together image. She's the type of chick that you choke with two hands. You know what I'm saying? But you don't let her know where you live. You don't let her know your real name. And after you're done smashing.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
It's Ninja Vanish. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dude. You know, you just don't let her know where you live. You know? Instead of Chris Mike, you will be Cristiano.
Be more appreciative. But thank you very much.
Here we go.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, in certain states, there's something called common law marriage. And if you've been cohabitating with someone,
he's gained a lot of weight over the last 4 years. You know, because this was what, 2 years ago? Yeah, he's gained a lot of weight, dude.
for a certain period of time, there might be, I think, some other components to it, but basically the government.
Carlos X said he stopped watching when she shamed men for wanting AI sex dolls, and she took the video down because she's getting roasted. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Guys, chicks know that the moment that they have sex bots, it's over. It's over.
And she probably has like a vibrator that's like a freaking 2-stroke gas engine that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she's got the,
every chick who says this has like a powerful vibrator that's
she's
huge.
got the Nugginator 5000.
Yeah.
Oh man, Chris.
So it's okay for them, huh? But
yeah, thanks for the $5, Chris. I mean, Carlos, man, thanks for that, pal. I appreciate that. Where are we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want my medication, and I want my croutons, please.
Yeah, guys, here's the thing: Japanese men are the most repressed, like lonely men on the planet. That's why they are spearheading the freaking SexBot 5000. You know what I'm saying? And the moment they have one of those that's decently affordable, it's over with. I'm serious. Right now, I tell you guys earlier about mating and dating now, where these girls go on a date and they're so narcissistic that they don't even want to get to know the guy. They don't want to get to know the guy to see what their differences are. They want a guy who's a male version of themselves.
Yeah.
So they want to go out on a date. And in the moment that the guy's not pro-Palestine, right? All of a sudden, it's
how dare you?
The moment he's not pro-LDHD TV.
How dare you?
The moment he didn't vote for Knucklehead Harris.
How dare you?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they say, why is it so hard to find guys? Because two people don't have to agree on the majority of things to get along. Guys, how many times have you been with a chick that, like, you just knew she didn't know anything about anything, right? She never saw any good movies. Didn't have any hobbies or whatever, but you still found time and a way to enjoy being around her. You know, maybe she was nice. You know, so Richard Brown says his sister's a closet feminist. Yikes! So the freak, man, what's up, dude? What's going on, man?
Government will view you as essentially married, and you would still be on the hook for alimony. And
so you don't want to be on the hook?
I don't want to be on the hook?
Yeah, as a man.
Well, I'm talking about common law marriage, but
yeah, but you as a man will be on the hook if you will.
Notice the scorn on these 304 faces.
It is.
The camera pans around.
I don't know which ones are.
And why would you want to be on the hook? You worked all this time and effort. See, this is a loser type of mentality, because a scarcity mindset is not trying to be like, oh, it's saying, look, I don't want to. There's a difference between I'm not trying to take the risk because I'm scared, and then I'm not trying to take the risk because I don't want to get robbed. You know what I'm saying? That's two different things.
Yeah.
If I take a risk and just life happens, that's different than I take the risk and someone steals from me. If I'm driving down the road and a tornado blows my car off the road, fine. But if I drive down the road and get out of it with the car running, someone steals it, come on now. So, Kevin Murray, what's up, dude?
But you may want to Google that, gentlemen, if you are. But
what do you lose by getting married?
What do you lose?
Yeah, what do you lose?
Everything. No. Not everything.
Why?
But
That's so much these days.
Guys, he's the worst red pill podcast host there is. The only reason why his show is anywhere near popular as it is one, he has like 19-year-old California girls on here, right? Like he had the young, like regular, his guest ages are like 18 to like 20, right? So they're real dumb. You know what I mean? Whereas Fresh and Funky had 21-year-olds, you know, 21 and up. And then now he has Andrew Wilson on here every now, like a lot. most people watch this show for Andrew Wilson. More people watch the show for Andrew Wilson than this knucklehead right.
Yeah, he's so annoying.
And he just puts up with so much crap from these broads. You know?
Even
what's funny is everyone's like, oh, Myron, he kicks all these girls out. Guys, because these girls are disrespectful. Guys, you remember when Pearly Thing still had her show and she was in England and all these English meetups? Actually, men need to lie, right? She started having to kick girls out.
Yeah.
She's like, yo, you gotta get out of here. You know, and had to hire security because these chicks are just disrespectful. Disrespectful. So
like adults that I meet in my life, they're like, oh, by the way, don't get married. You're young now. Like, I'm gonna tell you this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what do you lose?
Money.
Okay. That's the only concern.
That's your only
concern.
You're not the one making it, you dildo. What are you talking about? Look at that.
There's certainly, especially, look, if you're in a 50-50 relationship, even then there can be,
But all it is you took all this time and effort to build your life. You put this effort into it, and it's going to go to someone who had nothing to do with it. You're being robbed. You know what I'm saying? It's not just. It's not right. That's what people don't understand. In the moment that women have to pay alimony, oh man, they're pissed off then.
There can be a contentious divorce, and then you're spending, even if the money isn't going to your partner, there's a dispute, and legal disputes are incredibly expensive. So there's that concern. Obviously, you have to pay the lawyer to, go through the divorce. There's a time period.
Here you go, guys. Look.
Well, my exes might as well be my child. I pay alimony.
Oh, you got caught up, huh? So he got you.
Yeah.
He got you.
Good. Yeah.
I don't know whether to be happy or.
I mean, happy because I got out of it.
No, happy for the nigga.
Oh, I'm so glad you didn't say that.
Shit, he came up on $500,000.
Yeah, I'm happy for the nigga.
Why?
Because it's good sometimes for the man to win. See,
why?
But you see what
when
I'm saying?
he's a fully capable, when he's an adult, older than me, fully capable of working, a licensed professional, but used the system to come up, took advantage of me.
Welcome to being a man. Been around the world and back again. Let's go. Let's go. And whoever her ex is,
City boy, city boy.
Let's go.
You okay with that?
No, just because it's you personally, no. But watch what I'm about to tell you.
Tell me.
Women been doing it to men since the beginning of time.
Doesn't make it right.
Oh, yes, the fuck it.
I don't agree with you taking advantage of a system because it's there.
No,
I don't agree with that.
Only
we should have did this on the show.
Yeah, only because it's you, I'm concerned. Because we have a relationship now. Or if it was my daughter, I would be concerned. But the fact is, it's a system that's there to be taken advantage of.
So you should, because you can. Is that what you're saying?
I'm at the point in life, however the cards play out for you, and the way you lay your head down on the pillow at night, you got to be happy. If that means he had to do what he had to do to get you, I'm sorry that he did that shit. Listen to me. I'm sorry, darling.
Say you're anti-child support. You gotta be anti-child.
I'm sorry that happened to you. But I guarantee as you move forward through life, you'll never make that motherfucker decision
I never would. It's the most expensive mistake I made.
That's my point about the same stuff I was saying about life.
But that, I mean, we have to congratulate him.
No. As a G,
we sure as shit will.
Yeah, yeah, we will. Yeah.
Salute that nigga.
Because he's not black, too.
He's a white belt.
Oh, even better.
All right, here we go. Another one.
Tour to pay alimony to your ex-husband. I don't know if the number's correct. I saw it was like $30,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently when you
Mary J. Blige had to pay her ex 30 G's a month.
first
$1,000 a day
in terms of shielding your assets?
I would have never let a person have that much power over my money, my life, over anything ever.
There you go. See?
Yep.
Welcome to being a
Yeah.
man. Do, right?
Men just want to have fun.
City boys just want to have fun. You know that I be flexing all of that.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, every time that 30,000 got deposited, I have it on freaking 10s and 20s on the bed, and I'd be swimming in it. I have it fun on the ground in the
little
freaking
kiddie pool. Yeah.
Yeah, the kiddie pool. Shoot.
What do you lose? I mean, you lose the house, you lose
your pension,
half your shit,
your retirement.
It depends. Look, alimony is kind of,
and not just that, guys. Imagine you're in your 50s,
time.
You have to start all over again.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be setting up to live the rest of your life on easy mode. You had to reset at 50.
calculated based on how long you've been with the person. So it's not like you've been married for 9 months and you're going to be totally financially wrecked, but like it's still going to be an L at the end of the day. So
it's just about money.
Yes.
Yeah, and not having the government involved in your life, because then you're in the court system. In the court system, there's a anti-male bias in the court system.
$100.
Thank you, Martin.
Ryan, I'm an attorney, although not a divorce lawyer.
Oh.
It is a fact that prenups are more for asset and resource allocation, not precluding one party from their fair share. It's not like the movies at all.
So just money.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some different
shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right.
things on the prenup thing. My understanding is the prenup can address assets prior to the start of the marriage, but I don't think it can address, maybe I'm wrong on this too. If you guys made something together, prenups can address that. But
Orange Man still had to pay one of his exes $1 million cash.
If you're coming into it already wealthy, perhaps I don't know if you know anything more on this.
No, I've never even considered, not getting married as a form of, or marriage as a form of loss. I just view it as an unnecessary step in my life structure. So I'm not really focused on alimony or prenups or anything like that.
All right. Yo, Martin, by the way, shoot me a DM on Instagram. And can you please confirm what kind of attorney you are? I want to guess you're a tree attorney. You guys you got to replace the tree. That's like $100,000.
That's a lot of money.
So I think Martin,
just like marriage, a lot of money.
Martin is a tree lawyer.
Look at this bitch right here. Oh, sorry. Sorry guys, this chicken got me angry. I forgot. This is probably like the first episode that I watched. I remember this right now. It's just about the money. It's just about the money. It's about the money. That's all they. And guys, this chick here is useless. If we were Aleuts, right, we would leave this chick on a freaking piece of ice and let her float off into the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Because she can't pull her weight.
An arbor lawyer or something. Okay. So
I think I have a different perspective because I don't think we should live together before getting married. So that's why for me it's like it's a switch.
You don't want to live with. Honestly, I think even if you are married, like separate houses.
Yeah, preferably like a mansion, maybe a castle.
Yeah, just like I'll see you once a week.
You're a clown.
Why would you want to get married if you're only going to see them once a week? There's no point.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really want to get married.
Yeah,
That's
the
the
marriage.
thing. But like, I've heard that.
Where's her little thing?
That's
Divorce. Let's go from.
Where's her whole little?
Oh, I think
her little spiel. Was that it? Yeah, guys. In this episode,
I've seen it. She does talk about it.
Yeah.
It's one of the
she says
episodes I've seen of this show.
Something about marriage.
You said you don't want to get married. Why don't we start with you? Why don't you want to get married?
For me, it's just the foundation of marriage is a religious one, and I'm not a particularly religious person. And as far as where religion or marriage applies today, it's pretty symbolic. It's a piece of paper and a trip to the courthouse, and I don't find it necessary. It may become necessary in life for taxes and healthcare and dealing with children and properties.
Like all the things that pretty much matter and involve you being a traditional conservative woman, you absolute dumb. You know, guys, the reason why she says she's not in a marriage is because she has this whole strong and independent Western woman foolishness.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
She's a clown, right? Right here, all this calling out the modern women, the woke left. Watch. Let's let her finish.
It may become necessary in life for taxes and healthcare and dealing with children and properties, but just foundationally, I don't think it's the most important thing. Real commitment comes from that relationship that you share with your partner, kids, communication, and what you've both decided is real. That piece of paper doesn't really do much.
Your relationship with your partner.
That's all I need to hear.
That sounds like a feminist right there, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Every single sense of the word. Scumbag. And the rest of the stuff, she means well, but this is a thing. Because how old is she? She is.
I think she's 27 in this for some reason. She's a little older than the others.
She is. She's 24.
Okay.
3 more years, guys. 3 more years. 3 more years, guys.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? 3 more years. You know what I mean? Because
This whole time she's been hanging out with Choke Nug, getting that big neck vein.
Absolute facts, man. Absolute facts. Why? Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find this one more clip. Hold on. Where is it? There's one guy. Guys, look.
I want to go on Black People Meet. We're going to get the juicy mamas that I don't really know about. I need a whitewashed one. Bro, I need to take baby steps. I can't jump to the ghetto bitches yet. We got a match. A little dark skin. The Spider-Man shirt. I fuck with it. That's foreshadowing an angle, which is cool. She's just a little bit bug-eyed, right? This is unfortunate. I mean, beggars can't be choosers, though, so let's get to it. Hello, Dark Ben. How are you? My name is Joseph, and a dream of mine is to roleplay police brutality with a dark skin. LOL. Would you mind if I used that precious, juicy cooter as my little lab rat? Question mark. BLM.
Guys, she answers back. She answers back. Look at that. Guys, he got her number. It worked. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, guys. Yeah, all these chicks are all feminists, all of them. Right? All you gotta do is press them just a little bit. Oh, hey, guys! Someone had put this in the
Discord.
That the male pilot warned this
In the
chick.
second video, you can see the Army helicopter and American Airlines plane travel toward each other. After the collision and subsequent explosion, the airline green. The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the two collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river.
Damn.
How do you not see a big plane like that coming, too?
Dude,
this seems so crazy. That's
dude.
the helicopter's fault. They had to.
Dude, women drivers, no survivors, dude. Look at that, bro. Look at that, man. Look at that. All right, let's go. But yeah, so guys, all these chicks are all trad cons and feminists, all of them. Yeah. absolutely insane. I actually think there was one more clip I was going to show
We
you.
can call TradCon a grift-con. Is there a lot? That's a lot of what it is. It's a nice grift.
And then we can. Oh, here you go. Look at this.
Explain what a white monkey is. They're white guys from maybe America or some other Western countries. What they do is to set up a social media account in China, and their business is to be the most pro-China talkhead ever. And they'll be like, I love China. I love the culture. And they were like, back in America, things are so terrible. And then because they're white, all the Chinese nationalists was like getting hard over it. I'm talking about these accounts. They have like millions of followers. There are a lot of those accounts. And Chinese people started to get upset about it. They're like, okay, now I see you're not being genuine. This is a business for you. So they moved camp to Thailand now. So now in Thailand social media, they'll be like, I love Thailand. Here's me eating pad thai. Oh
Give
my
it
God.
6 months and they'll be like, Cambodia is the best.
I know.
Hey, Colin, snowboard. There you go, guys. I love Mongolia.
Yeah.
It's the best. As you're smashing all these Mongolian
Brazil,
brothers
yeah.
and taking pictures with the prime minister. No. It has to be like a place that's like not a lot of Western people know about. It would have to be like, I don't know, Vietnam,
pretty good.
Indonesia, Madagascar, somewhere like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Carlos X said, hey, Colin, snowboard, spin the globe, go random. You know what I'm saying? So look at that. Here you go.
Have you ever heard of an ambulatory wheelchair user? This is someone who has use of their legs, but still chooses to use a wheelchair sometimes. Just because I'm using a wheelchair doesn't mean that I was paralyzed, but rather that I'm choosing to use it in order to mitigate painful symptoms that come from standing and walking for a prolonged period of time. I think a lot of people look at me using the wheelchair and think, oh, that's so sad, but rather it's quite the opposite. I'm able to go out and do things and have a life that I wouldn't normally be able to if I didn't have the wheelchair. So if you see a wheelchair user out in public, don't stare at them, don't entirely avoid eye contact with them, and don't talk to the person they're with as if they're not there. Treat them like you would normally. And don't ask them why they're in the wheelchair. If you wouldn't ask a walking person about their medical history,
you can walk, you dumb. What are you talking about? You absolute dunderhead.
Some people are really fucking stupid. Why should you ask a wheelchair user about their medical history? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
They're the worst.
And they gave this idiot a TED Talk?
Yeah.
Or she just was saying that as a phrase, I think.
Watch this, guys. You watch. Hold on. But first, guys, come on. Watch.
Phone video shows 17-year-old Tasia Jones walking out of her house. Look.
My Lord. Oh my God. Since 17.
Wow. And feeling like a rock star. It was her first prom and she was excited.
I feel good.
Oh my God.
We now come back.
Sister Mary Francis, look at how big this chick is.
I'm happy.
This is a picture of Tasia at prom Saturday night. When she got home, she posted this beautiful picture of herself.
Beautiful picture?
They're gaslighting, yeah.
You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
The next morning, her friends called to say the picture had gone viral, but not for the reason Tasia thought. Most of the comments are so demeaning, they're hard to read.
Guys,
this is Nog.
You guys for funny comments. I'm calling everyone in this chat out for doing. Someone's got to be. I can't even say it with a straight face. I would have roasted this chick, dude.
Tasia updated her status to say she shouldn't have gone to prom or posted the picture. Cell phone video shows 17-year-old Tasia Jones.
Guys, she's 460 pounds.
Oh my God. Not even 18 yet.
Look at that. My God. Oh, guys, okay. Do you want to see everything wrong with Black America? Watch. This is her graduation.
Geez.
I hope that doesn't get the stream taken down, right? And then last thing here.
White. I grew up in a conservative. My name's Kylie, and I'm obviously white. I grew up in a conservative white.
And now, guys, she's gonna lecture all of you white guys,
yeah,
right? And about how to not be racist, right? God of the Sea, what's up, dude? You guys, make sure to drop a like on the stream. Mark, what's up, man? Kevin Murray, what's up, man? Blood Boiling, how's it going? Who did I miss? I think we're good.
Family, and I know there's been a lot of discourse about whether white people should talk about racism, and here's my argument for why I think that not only should we, but we have to. A lot of racism in white families occurs behind closed doors. I've been over at friends' parents.
Well, yeah.
Every group talks
That's where
about
you
all
want
the
it to
groups.
be.
Exactly.
What do you want them to bring it to the streets?
This is thought police, right? And guys, only women think this way. You guys need to watch what you say about said group when they're not around. They're not there to hear it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Guys, if there's an Asian household dropping N-bombs and calling white people saltines, you know what I'm saying? What do we care? Who cares?
I don't care.
Parents'
It's their
places
right
and
to
heard them
say
say some pretty obscene things about people of color, assuming that I am on their side simply because I am white. Obviously, this makes for some awkward conversations when I do call them out, but point being, the depths of the racism.
So you're a party pooper then?
Yeah.
And the darkness that seeps in deeply into these families can only, in my opinion, truly be exposed by other white people, because they will never be their full racist selves around anyone who is not white. They like to.
That's the point.
That's what, yeah.
That's called being polite. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Look, this person says, wait till you hear us in our black homes talk about other races. Trust me.
Save face publicly and say that they're not racist, but then again, if you go into their homes and you hear the things they say, that would suggest otherwise. I just encourage you, if you're a white person and you know people like this, please say something. Don't just ignore it for fear of conflict. My name's
Look at that, guys.
Wow, she's so brave. Isn't she so brave?
Oh, this is the same chick.
She's so brave.
Here we go.
Hi, my name's Kylie, and here are the top 5 things white people say when they know they're being racist, but they can't say what they're thinking out loud.
Okay, guys, just in case
What-
you guys
what
didn't
is she
know,
even saying?
Call and snowboard, all you white dudes in the chat. You guys know she's talking about these you cisgendered hetero white men, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Please. Number 1, we have commenting on how something smells, specifically in relation to food. Generally, this is meant in an insulting way. Wow, it really smells in here.
Exposing white people. What are you talking about? You absolute dunderhead. Some people are really fucking stupid.
She's picking the most mundane, meaningless garbage too. Like,
What are you talking about?
in some stuff
Whether
she's saying that's viewed as racist is not even racist. Like,
Yeah, it's
if
not.
I'm going to buy a house and I see the neighbors, it's a black guy in his front yard. He's like, spin around your head like a helicopter. I don't want to live there.
No. If you see a friggin' 83 Malibu or 2001 Impala
On 20s,
on some
yeah.
20-inch rims, guys, don't live there. Do
And that's not
live there.
racism. It's logic.
It's
You
in
don't
the
want to
same
live
way
near someone like
as if
that.
it's a trailer park with an 82 Berlinetta Camaro sitting in the front on blocks. It's the same thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Guys, you know what? Here, anyone who's black in this chat, I know Rajai is here. Who else is here? Guys, Put a 1 if you agree that you would never, ever live in a place where the majority of people look like you. Guys, I would never, ever. I bought my house. Guys, I made sure I drove around and multiple times in different parts of the day just to make sure I didn't see any spinning rims. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? No way. No way, dude. It's just too much trouble. Here's the thing. Guys, you guys know what the best part about white people is? Colin, snowboard. You know what the best part about you guys is? Here, hold on. Where's the race card at? No. You guys are predictable.
Yeah, we're predictably boring.
Predictable.
Yeah.
If you move into a white neighborhood, you can predict for the next 6 months what'll happen. Nothing.
Yeah, down to the minute.
You can see Colin get up, go to his mailbox with his coffee, wave to the school bus, go back inside, and then go up and get his afternoon coffee from wherever, whatever, and then see his girlfriend come over. It's predictable.
Yeah.
It's peaceful. Asians too. They're the same way. But once you get around black people, dude, like in general, as a whole, guys, guys, here. If I was gonna go to, because I spent my entire 20s going to like predominantly white bars, raves, or whatever. No fights, no shootings, no nothing, right? Then I moved to DC. My friends are, we're gonna go to a bar down in DC. Midnight, there's a predominantly black club down the street. A shooting happens. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Insane. Yeah, Dan said, if there's too many black guys walking around with wife beaters during normal work hours, you don't want to live there.
Yeah.
It's
if
true.
they're lifting weights in the front yard, get out.
Guys, here's the thing. Guys, I am black. I'll say it. Because, guys, there's a clear delineation between blacks like myself, Captain Palsy, Rajai, right? We're just chilling. We want to be left alone. We want to be able to live a nice, quiet, routine life. Just like I'm going to go out, Colin, snowboard, and I go out to some dive bar, have a beer, you know what I'm saying, and play some darts. You're not going to go to some nug club. And then you worry about getting shot. I didn't know, guys, but Koreans have an actual, they have special refrigerators for kimchi, you know what I'm saying, that they make, and I think that they're sealed specifically so that the smell doesn't get out, because I was at the Asian market the other day. I'm like $3,500 for that small fridge, but it's a kimchi.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So yeah,
Asia.
Kimchi is
good
awesome.
too.
You know what kimchi is awesome on? Next time you have a barbecue, put that on top of a burger.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I was gonna say on a hot dog. Yeah. So
or a hot dog. Yeah, I never thought of that.
And then put it on with some spicy mayo. Man, shoot.
Africa, regardless, white people think that it smells weird because it's not something that they typically eat.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, it stinks.
What's
we
wrong
smell
with
it.
That? Guys,
Yeah.
I used to live in DC. Some of my neighbors were from different parts of Africa, and you'd walk by them and you're like, God damn, what is that smell? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Because you know what? They say the same thing about white people in food.
Cooking fish
Guys,
and stuff.
Hey, Colin, any of your neighbors who are not from America, explain to them what bologna is. They'll look at you like you're crazy. All right, so you're in a meat packing plant, and there's a guy with a shovel, and he's shoveling random pig parts, and out pops a sheet.
Right.
Thing. They're gonna think you're crazy, Or guys, explain to Asians peanut butter. A lot of Chinese, they don't like peanut butter, and they don't like cheese either. A lot of my friends that are from Korea and Taiwan and China, they're like, cheese? Why do you guys put cheese on everything? That's disgusting. Black Samurai, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Chilling, man, dude. When you were trying to find your house, were you looking for the 2001 Impala on some spinning rims?
Right. They spinning.
I'm sorry, dude. When I bought my house, the second to last house that I looked at before this one, it was in a neighborhood that was like, I don't know if you guys ever see those developments where they build them right off the highway, like literally, like there's the highway. You're right there, so you can hear the highway, and I could just tell this neighborhood was just like
You can basically tell by the music you hear, the banging, like they're blasting the music.
Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, it is like 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. This is crazy. I said, nope. And guys, say what you want. I don't understand. It's a lack of respect for other people and this collectivism. You know, if you go to like an Asian neighborhood, everyone's chill and calm because they care about their neighbors. And there's a stigma about being that bad neighbor, the one with the nasty house. But guys, that's not the way that it works in predominantly black neighborhoods. And what's crazy is my mom, she's the only. I mean, there's her, and then there's her neighbors. All the rest of the families are white. Her neighbors are black.
Well, let me tell you something, AJ.
Her neighbors, he's retired military, and then the wife is a nurse. They're fine, but their kids are knuckleheads.
Right.
Their kids are morons. The son, he sits around, he's 24, smokes weed all day. His baby mom came and tried to freaking run him over once with a car. Then the youngest one is 18, has 2 kids already, and then one of the baby daddies, he wanted to see his kids, so he got mad and he's taking his Hellcat and doing donuts in the friggin' cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
my mom was like, "What's going?" And it almost hits my mom's truck.
Right. That's nug. That's nug all day right
Spin
there.
around your head like a helicopter.
Like, and you're like the old man, AJ. Like, get off my lawn.
Yeah, get off my lawn. Yeah, you guys. It's just the thing is, people have a thing about white people. If there's one thing white people are, it's predictable.
Right.
You know that if you go to a white potluck or a white wedding or a white whatever, that you won't have to worry for the most part, unless it's a freaking a redneck wedding. You know,
right.
There's not going to be shootings, any fights, or any of that. You know,
right. It's going to be cordial unless it's some hood like antics going on. You know, Right. Now, I'm dealing with the same situation, AJ. Like in my neighborhood, it was predominantly, I guess it was Latino, whatever like that, until I guess, it's a lot of people coming into my city because I live in Buffalo. So it's like this particular neighborhood is near the water. So everybody wants to live near the water. So the property value has been going up for the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this year it's like on my block, it's so many single mothers that got evicted.
No!
Right. I'm dealing with an issue with my next door neighbor because they got evicted, but they keep coming back trying to maintain the property. And I'm calling downtown, calling City Hall like, hey man, these people squatting here. They're not trying to do anything. So I have to do my part. So just to have some peace, like these people keep coming back, blasting the Spanish music, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like ridiculous. Everybody on the block is like, come on now. Like, we know you don't live here. And it's like a situation where people just don't want to, they don't want to leave, or they just don't want to like just move on. And it's like, it's crazy. And then it's like, the single mother across the street that had like 5 kids. I know they can't afford a $1,200 a month rent. It was $600, but it went up damn near 50% the past 3 years. And it's like, they're pricing people out. To me, it's a good thing because I don't see any, like, it hasn't been any shootings on my block the past, like, I say 2 or 3 years. So it's like, it's really doing a good. It's like really good thing going on.
Gentrification's a good thing.
Right.
I'm sorry to say it, but it is. And here's a crazy thing. Guys here, cook with me here. How many times, these poor people of color, these homes have been in their families' it's been their family's property for generations, and now they're getting priced. Sell the house, move somewhere cheaper. You live in a part of DC now. Your family bought it in like 1974 or 1955. You own it. Now it's worth $2 million.
But AJ,
sell the house and move to freaking rural Alabama. Buy some properties.
AJ, these houses was given away for $1 10 years ago. They couldn't even give these houses away.
Yeah.
They could have sold so much and made so much money and moved on, but they kept this holding on and holding on, and now they lost
can't pay
out.
the property tax. Yeah,
right.
And it gets taken away.
Right. And it's crazy.
Look at that. Wow. Look at that, man. But yeah, guys, all it is just people who have some sense. Because guys, everything that I say about knuckleheaded ghetto blacks is the same that I say about friggin' trailer trash. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way. You'd have the same issues living near a trailer park. It's the same thing. Meth labs blowing up, friggin' loud friggin' jelly roll music blasting out the friggin' back of the thing. Poor people. Guys, here's the thing. There's a difference between low income and poor. Poor is a mindset. Here's the thing, because guys, you have immigrants. If you look at like Vietnamese, Samoans, or whatever, they might have everything secondhand or third hand, but their stuff is clean. It's organized. They respect people, right?
Right.
But if you see a lot of blacks and whites that are poor, their house is trash. I got bed bugs,
garbage
everywhere. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? So guys, it's all about class and not race. The thing is, I am black, so I talk about ghetto black people, but guys, there's trash of every race. Every race. But the difference is that whites that have some sense and have money don't define themselves by the trailer trash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They separate. Us blacks need to start separating from Nug and Keisha and Gloctavia.
I think the only reason for the black community they have to have something like a gated community. Yeah. In the African American community, because it's going to get to the point where the ratchetness is on an all-time high.
Yeah.
That even listen. I'm a passport, bro. I got my passport. It's so many black people.
Let's go.
It's so many black people that's pissed. They're pissed.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to get to a boiling point. It's going to get to a boiling point, AJ. Trust me.
Yeah. Hey, Black Samurai, quick. How do you feel about it? Like, what do you consider a conservative? And then what do you think about saying all the conservative chicks are all feminists?
Well, I have a 2-point answer to this question because I see it in my professional field of work and I see it on social media. Now, on the social media side, I know for a fact that they're closet feminists because they're talking points. You can know how the way they're talking, the way they're acting the same way. You know, now the conservative, like you got conservative women, I get it. Like, you know, it's a class thing. You make a number, you make a number amount of money per year. You want to like keep that status quo. I understand politically. I understand it. But you got to some chicks, they don't even make that much money. So I don't understand, like, okay, you're not making that much money and you're calling on, like, you know what I'm saying, damn near working poor. How are you conservative? Yeah. It's like to me, it's like a political movement. They're trying to like attach themselves to the conservative movement, but they're not really conservative. And in my job, which was really crazy, my job had to purge these women because what they were doing, they got into my job, got like leadership positions, and they were firing all the men. Like literally, like for 5 years, like damn near all of the men were getting like replaced with women. Until my CEO, he was seeing it and was looking at what was going on, and it got to the point where one lady was just, you know, making so many purchases on a company credit card where she had to get fired, to the point where they had to just fire these women. And I work for a nonprofit that helps the community. Like we run foster care centers, we help run food drives and stuff like that. And you got women that just don't care. And it's like, it gets to the point, like my former boss, she screwed up everything in the finance department to the point where the company was like owed $500,000 to one of the vendors because she didn't want to bill them accurately. And I'm like, I got to the point where the boss had to step in and fire her. And she had the nerve to give me a bad review. And I tried to tell her this, like, listen, we have to do this. And she didn't want to do it. And now we owe like almost $500,000. And now it took a half a year just for them to pay us. It's ridiculous, AJ. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy world, man. Like you say.
I think what happens is all you do is trigger these feminists, guys. All you got to do is just trigger this with one of our really good talking points, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like exposing the fact that every single negative outcome politically has been because they've been allowed to vote, right? You know,
right.
Talk about how this whole feminist experiment, nothing positive has come from this experiment at all. Nothing
at all. It's been almost 50 years. Almost 50 years.
Guys, make sure you are subbed to the second channel. There's a link there. I go live. And guys, for all you guys that are new, guys, make sure you are subbed, right? Guys, join the Discord because we actually are going to go to after hours here in a second, guys. So join the Discord and go to the after hours thread, right? And that'll be right when the link ends. And then, guys, for those of you guys that are new, I go live on this channel here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, if I am not going live, I will tell you I'm not going live. I go live, okay? Most of the time, I will be going live. I go live on the second channel, 10 p.m. on Fridays, okay? Guys, I will be doing daytime lives. I usually do this. I'll try and let you guys know as far in advance as possible. But we do the first like 10 minutes in the chat for everyone, and then it's members only. So if you guys want to chat, you got to be a member or call in, okay? Because those are for more like hot topics that I see. And then, guys, let's actually go to after hours, guys, because we're at midnight. But Black Samurai, Colin, Snowboard, closing statements.
Well, I will say with the men, keep your peace at the end of the day, because these women are going to go all out gangbusters trying to ruin, trying to get in the way, trying to, stuff like that. They even as a passport, I'm seeing women going to countries just to sit there and look at the men date foreign chicks. And I'm like, okay, you could have stayed home with the Miami.
This is why, right? You leave chicks alone.
It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop ever until you are dead.
It's so accurate. So accurate, AJ. Listen, you should clip that, save that clip, because listen, Reese was right. At the end of the day, you're going to see these femme terminators coming around here, with laser beam eyes, and they see, oh, you're a red pill talking like guy, an alpha male or something like that. Oh man, it's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be like that, and it's sad. But hey, at the end of the day, just keep your peace. At the end of the day.
Yep, that's true. Smart move, man. Yeah, yeah. Snowboard, Colin.
Yeah, I have kind of a good way to summarize kind of what a conservative woman can be. And it's kind of an example I kind of realized last week. I was working at this kind of older woman's house and cutting trees. And she's like, hey, can I make you lunch? And was happy to do so. So it's going to sound kind of cliche, but like a conservative woman is someone who's happy to make you a sandwich and kind of enjoys it in a way. Like they're like, there's nothing wrong with helping the man be really great and just supporting someone but get some joy from that. So I think that's kind of what a conservative woman kind of can be in some ways, and everything else is secondary to that, but it's also enhances their own life too.
Andrew Wilson just silenced Tomi Lahren.
I didn't get to this, but we have to do a part 2 for this.
I'm a woman of virtue. I happen to be independently successful.
Virtue, yeah.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I have a husband who's not only a former professional athlete, but is currently a professional baseball coach. So is he not a masculine man?
That misses the point, though. Like, you're still not contending with the argument that I'm
what's your
making. I'm
point?
saying inside of society, right this second, masculinity is not only punished, but also covert feminists on the right are constantly and consistently talking about how they need to have privilege in society. Their version of masculinity is men who take care of us, men who protect us, men who do all of this. Those are all duties that men have towards women. Great. What are the duties that women have towards men? What are the duties that women have towards anything? What are we getting out of this arrangement? Can you tell me?
And she had no answer.
Boom.
Yeah. Cannot compute.
There you go, guys. That's all we're asking. And this is the first time in history where men have had to look around and be like, what do we get out of all of this? Because traditionally, women define themselves on selflessness and not selfishness, and that's the thing that women, feminists, or both, trad cons and all of them, is they always talk about what the man has to do and not what the woman has to do. And the longer they do that, the more guys will check out, because that's the thing that society fears the most is. It was when men just stop answering the call.
You see, the government is trying to bribe men $5,000 to have children with these women. I think that's
not a good
low.
idea.
I think that's a little bit too low.
Idea.
I think you should bump that to $500,000. Maybe you might have some babies if you bump it up to like $500,000.
Do you think that
But it's going to be Nug running wild, and it's going to be pandemonium.
Come on, man. Come on.
Right.
You might as well
They're
go
trying to
Japan.
copy that model from Russia.
Yeah,
and Russia
yeah,
has it. You
Japan.
get like a third of a down payment. Like you get, if you had like 3 kids, you'll have enough to basically the equivalent to buy a home there. And you can't trade it for cash. You can only use it buying like a brand new car, a home, a down payment on a home, or
so it's limited.
It's not mad money. It's not mad money that Nug can go spend it on, because they thought about that.
Nug's going to buy rims. He's going to buy
exactly.
And guys, like I said, at least you can actually get some hot chicks in Russia too. You know what I'm saying?
Wicked hot,
the average Russian chick is not 195 pounds like these megazords over here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Ukraine too, really hot.
Cool. All right, you guys. I'll be in after hours. So, guys, join the Discord. Go to the after hours thread, guys. I'll be live on Tuesday because we're gonna do another deep dive and another absolute dunderhead on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys. You guys, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, see you later.
All right, see you guys. Thanks.
See ya.